All right. Yes. A good evening or a good day wherever you are. It's
Good good afternoon in my case, Justin.
yes, that's right. It's a 20-minute late start. Apologies here. I got to be honest. I actually was putting my son to sleep probably an hour and a half ago, which was meant to be a pretty quick thing, but I had to lie down next to him to try to get him to sleep, and of course I fell asleep. Um, and my wife woke me up about 15 minutes before start time, and I had to drive my mum home and then quickly get ready for Yasser. And I'm like emailing him on the phone as I'm walking out of my mum's place, saying, "Yeah, we'll be good in 5 minutes." So apologies. There's a comment already in chat from Legion the Destroyer. Did I get the time right? Yes, you did get the time right. I didn't.
Oh,
So yeah, we're here with Yasser. Very fortunate again to have him. We're just going to play some Crazyhouse today. And
fantastic. Yeah.
and
Well, good day, Justin. I'm happy to see you. I love the story about you trying to get your son to sleep and you falling asleep instead. That's just brilliant. Love it. Love it. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Justin's Stream. And it's my pleasure to be here. It's been a while. Last
yeah,
week we actually played S chess. Well,
yes,
played, but introduced S chess, and
yes,
I gave you a study which you solved, and there was
yes,
three parts to the study. And well, just share with the viewers your reaction to the study.
yeah. I guess so. So I think look, big part of what Yasser spoke about in introduction to S chess, also known as Seirawan chess or sharp chess. I
For
think
chess, yeah.
Yasser was saying the problem they had was anything starting with S was nearly copyrighted already by 2007. So I think
It's true. It's true.
where Zero One Chess probably isn't copyrighted. So
We didn't want to get sued.
that's right. So no, Yasser had a study with and I mean I'm not going to set up here, but it was just a few pieces on the board. So correct me if I'm wrong, Yasser, but it's a white king on H1
Yep.
and the elephant piece, which is a combination of moves of
The
the
rook.
knight and the rook, which starts on G2. Is that right?
Correct.
And
Correct.
a black rook on B3, a black king on A3.
And that's it.
Where if it was black to move, it'd be rook B1 check, king H2, rook B2, which would force a draw.
Yep.
But in that situation, the study is white to move and win. And yeah, there's three parts to it, and I progressively graduated from part one to part two, and then part three is like this. Okay, like yeah, you've just been
Well,
schooled because part one and part two aren't right, and then now you've really got to solve it. So it was fascinating to have so few pieces set up,
exactly.
but you know, a lot of tricks that are not, I should say, obvious,
Right.
given that you know we're more used to like how a queen moves and not how an elephant moves. So without me spoiling the study with answers, I'll say that was my progression of the quest with Yasser during last
And
week.
and it was really, really a lot of fun. And I've shown that study to others, including Levon Aronian and other top grandmasters, and they've all had difficulties with it, but they've all admired parts one and part two, the patterns of checkmate, as well as the forks. And then they're really shocked that there's a part three. But enough about S chess, because today it's all about Crazy House chess, and you should give an introduction about the upcoming Crazy House World Championship.
Yeah, just quickly. I mean, this is something we've had open for registration for about 3 weeks already. It was open mid-February, 15th Feb or so, and entries will close 15th March. So this is the
Okay.
last week we're entering. So big final plug. We've already got more than 100 entrants. A lot of big name players from prior years. We've got guys like JK the Bullfrog. He's known as J Killer. He's come in before. There's Bugzilla. He's a good friend of mine from Australia. Has played for a long time. The finisher, a well-known theoretician, GM Andrew Tang, he has registered again. Chicken Crossroad, and I'm not even doing justice. That's just 5 at the top of my head. But
Right.
yes, just if you go on the forums, you'll find a thread where we've got a $2,000 prize pool, and
Nice.
this year I am personally guaranteeing it up front. I mean, in prior years, what we've done
Whoa.
is we've done goals on streams and things like that. So this time I'm doing that up front, and the community still can contribute to that. So in the top right, you'll see there's a 3+2 Crazyhouse World Championship Fund, of which about $245 has already been donated, and we've just set a goal for the full year of 2020. So if you'd like to contribute, you still can, but basically, regardless of where the goal ends, I will personally cover the balance to ensure that the funds are there. In the past, it's been more of a, all right, we'll see how far we get by the end of the tournament, and then we'll divvy up the fund there. But that's how we're doing it this year, and we've already had plenty of support. So I don't even think that 246 is what has been contributed so far. We've had. I'll just explain briefly before we start playing, but
Sure.
we've got a weekly Crazy House event called the Elite Crazy House Arena, and JK the Bullfrog has each week put up $50 of his own money, for just basically a winner takes all once a week. But the way it works in our Crazy House community is money seems to get donated and redonated in multiple ways. So
Nobody wants to
we've
claim.
we've had a number of strong players like Opalwezen, Katask, and Chicken Crossroad win this event in different weeks, but each one has said, "Oh, I want to put my $50 towards the Crazy House World Championship Fund." So
Gotcha.
a lot of what J Killer or JK the Bullfrog has donated has kind of found its way into this pool, and some of that is not yet represented in the goal target. So I will need to update that at a later
I see.
time. But yes, enough of me talking. If you haven't registered, hope we inspire you today to go and play. It's free to enter, and we've got a double elimination knockout. It's like a really robust format. So double elimination knockout, which will narrow down to 12 candidates, and then the 12 candidates will play for the right to take on last year's, the world champion currently, who is Opalwezen. So
Uh-huh.
he'll be waiting at the end. Okay.
So, just to be clear, you have about 100 participants already registered, and they're gonna play matches against one another, and it's a double elimination.
Correct. So one match will
Okay.
be worth 10 games of 3+2 Crazy House, and it's like
Okay.
first to 6 wins. If it's 5 all, you keep playing until you play 2 games at a time until there's a decisive result. So it's not
Gotcha.
margin of 2. It's specifically play 2 games at a time. So you could win like 6.5 to 5.5 if there was a draw, for example.
Gotcha.
And then it's like you've got to get knocked out twice to get
Mhm.
knocked out of that stage. That's the main proportion of the event. So that'll take us the majority of the year to get through that event.
Really, you
So
got
so
to
the
arrange the matches. With the
and then
cool
there'll be a
time zones.
round robin between the final 12 players that result out of that structure, which will take another number of weeks. So this will be a long one, which will go towards the back half of the year, but we get to see great matches throughout.
A lengthy progression, if you will.
Yes, that's
Very
right. But
cool.
not too dissimilar to how we've done it before. So we're building on that tradition.
Cool.
Okay.
Well, again, I just want to give a very big shout out. Thank you, everyone, for joining Justin and I as we get started to play a match, and I welcome your questions. I guess I could put it like that. I'm on the lead chess. So I'm. Do you monitor the chat from your
Yeah.
Twitch
Yeah.
or from the lead
The
chat?
chat from Twitch.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then I won't be able to see that in terms of answering any questions, but you'll be the moderator as well.
That's right.
So we're just going to be using different time controls as we get started here. But let's go, and good luck.
Good luck.
Or
Yes.
in this case, I guess you won't need it. Now, unfortunately for me, I've actually been doing a lot of commentary of late, and Lee, my Crazyhouse skills, I just think are so rusty. I try to play against the computer as a kind of stay in touch with the pieces, but sometimes I feel like such an idiot when I play against the computer. It's like, I can't believe I'm doing blunders and all the things I do. It's just the computer makes me look like a fool. I hate it.
It does, doesn't it? It's like I think you once mentioned to me, and I think others can sympathize with this, where you're playing, say, black, and it's like the computer plays e4, and you play knight f6.
Yeah.
And then it plays d4, and you're like, there's a free pawn on e4. Like, by every principle in my body says that's a free pawn, and so you take it, and somehow end up losing.
Badly. I mean, it's just it's like so aggravating, right? And many more often, I dare say, I make an obvious attack, like e4 knight f6, just an obvious attack. I hit the computer's bishop. You got to go back with the bishop. Of course, the computer completely ignores my threat as if it has no impact.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I take the bishop and I get crushed. What did I do?
And you're like, yeah, what did I do wrong? Like, how did that happen? Yeah.
It's just so aggravating. I can't put it any other way than that. All right, what do we got here? We got a French where I'm kind of suffering a little bit space, which happens if you're going to play the French, whether it be in regular chess or in Crazyhouse. So I'm going to try to utilize the rook on the f1 square. So rook f8 square, sorry. So let's go. Yeah, baby.
Yeah, baby.
Now, you and I had a fun time a while back playing against Hikaru Nakamura.
Yes.
And Helm's Knight in a really marvelous bad exhibition of Bughouse.
And that was so much fun.
Somehow we're going to have to repeat that experiment because I fully enjoyed myself. I truly did. I thought that was a great deal of fun, and I don't know how we swindled the victory, by the way. That was like so totally undeserved. But we did it. So, I mean, I think Hikaru's chomping on the bit for a little bit of revenge on this one. So just keep that in mind. That, I think we've got a standing, offer there.
Oh, right. Has he actually mentioned it to you at some stage, Hikaru?
Well, yeah. I mean, it's very hard because Hikaru is a busy dude. Yeah. I mean, guys like it. Right now, he's in Hawaii, like climbing the volcanoes. I don't know what he's doing.
Wow.
But,
okay.
But it's sort of like when he returns to Earth, we'll be sure to. I just want to let you know that I'm ready.
Okay. Wow.
For a rematch, and I think Helm's Knight will be ready.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, that'll be fantastic. I had no idea that that there was interest for revenge on the cards. So
yes.
I mean, that's very exciting for all the viewers to hear as well. Here, I mean, kind of once in a while, once a month or something. Here, you got to get back to Bughouse, and when you're doing Bughouse again, and I'm like just struggling to get online to play a match sometimes with the new kid. King h6. Well, maybe nearly forced. Nearly forced.
It's like it's early in the day. I want to get you. I want to get the juices flowing.
I didn't see this one actually. I thought anything but this move, and I was doing better. So
Yeah, it looked like you were gonna get some seriously hurtful. You were gonna hurt my feelings. So King H6 seemed like a way of throwing you off a little bit.
Okay, all right. So for the viewers, I mean, and this is why we've done 15-second increments, so I can explain a bit. But if Yasser's had gone back, say, to King G8, I had ideas like Bishop takes F5, Knight takes F5, Queen takes F5, sack. And even if Rook takes F5, Knight at H6 is so powerful. The King can't go to H8, has to go to F8, Pawn at G7, check, King E8, and you're making a Queen on G8 or taking the Rook, and White's King's very safe.
I really felt I was going to get victimized in that.
Correct, and so the King going to F7, G8 or H8 kind of runs into those issues. So he's actually being very bold and run the King forward just to prevent one of my knights getting to H6. So with that said, I gotta figure this out.
Right.
Chuck Moulton, thanks for subscribing. Oh, sorry, cut you off there, yes. But
no, not at all. Sometimes it's not a question of bravery; it's a question of being forced to walk the plank.
Yeah, that's it. Okay, let's think about this. That's a serious response, King H6.
Okay, this is great, guys. I got the great JannLee thinking. That's for me. It's like the small successes that make me. just the small successes. Well, that gives me a chance to grab some coffee. How you doing on your time? You let me know if you need any time. It's okay.
I think we'll be all right. We'll honor the clock here.
Okay.
Got to figure this one out.
Yeah. That's one of my inside jokes that I have with a lot of grandmasters. It's the word yes, and we say it in a very peculiar, distinct way. It's like yes, as if a question, and it relates back to a friend of mine, Robert Hamilton, who was organizing a double round robin on the island of Grand Manan in Canada. And he wanted to invite, what's that? What are you doing? Wow, holy smokes. There's a mate on E5. Yeah.
Yeah. So my small win is getting Yasser to interrupt his story midway.
Yeah, that's a big victory, actually. That is a disappointing move, Justin, because I was really hoping you're like the computer. The knight didn't go back. I mean, this is all I get. Okay, so if I take the knight, there's a pawn to E5, check.
Pawn to G5. Then, pawn to G5, King G6.
Yeah, pawn to G5, King G6, and
Bishop
then you
takes
take
F5 check.
F5.
Knight takes
and there's
F5.
A knight E5 mate.
Knight at E5 mate. Yes. So that's what. So Yasser has seen my cunning plan.
My devilish idea.
Yes, but this still weakens G5 because even a capture on F6,
exactly.
G5 was looking nice and secure a move ago, and this kind of disrupts things a little bit.
Big time indeed. Yikes, yowza. I must say that move is simply excellent. Simply excellent.
Well, here's where I think this is very interesting, because I think here we're between two human players. It's like very unclear, and this is a situation where the machine will just kind of go, it's a win for white or black, and bang,
exactly.
Done.
And it's just like, and it would be indisputable. I mean, it's like there's nothing. It's like, I think I stood better. No, you were mated. End of story. Get out of here. Next case. Now, Rook F6, unfortunately, G5 mate.
Correct.
And I would love for you to take that exchange, but g5 mate is, well, as they say, a strong answer.
And that's actually been one of the questions from the chat. Gius Bold said rook takes f6 question mark, and we've got another viewer, Mixu Chess, who is the finisher, said self-made in one.
Exactly.
Funny that someone mentioned self-made in one. I did fire back at Yasser with a potential
with a study of your own, yeah.
Well, a puzzle, I guess we should call it, as opposed to a study. But okay, let's. I don't have much time yet, so I need to think this one through.
Don't do it, Justin. Don't think it through. Oh boy.
Does this work? Hang on.
Seriously, when I played the move King H6, I didn't think I was getting into this kind of trouble. I was hoping I wouldn't get into this type of trouble, but man, trouble sure arrived on my doorstep. I was like, what the? Wow. Holy smokes.
Yeah, I'm looking at Queen takes G5, but I don't think it actually works.
Well, thank goodness for that.
It's close.
It is close.
Alright, I can't see it working right away, so...
Wow. Well, I tell you, it's still... I need to really get my king out of Dodge. I kind of put it there on the edge of the world. And
all right, I'm gonna have to.
Okay, you can't resist. I mean, it's. Oh, this move. Okay, that was a little bit of a surprise for me. Ooh, oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I should have just played bishop at f4 straight away. I just figured I'm threatening to take a queen with check, so it can't be that bad.
I was dreaming about queen g4 as being a kind of a move that you might have had to deal with, but maybe. Okay, now I got a problem. So I take bishop f4, and there's a bishop e2, and you got a lot of bishops there, and I'm kind of frightened to be sure. Okay.
Oh, okay. You've defended right. Didn't expect that one. Okay, well, in principle, I'm going to take a queen with check. I need to do
Well,
that.
I was hoping that you overlook queen takes g2.
He might not see it.
He may not see it. Don't tell him, anybody.
All right, I think I can simplify here, but do I need to simplify?
I don't like the sound of that.
Can I complicate instead?
Simplify or complicate? Well, I tell you, my experiment with King H6 was...
but this isn't what you had in mind.
A serious failure. Oh, a pity.
All right, we'll simplify.
I'm kind of I was kind of afraid of that, actually. I thought that you could also have played Queen G4.
Queen at G5, yes.
Yeah, Queen to G5, and I think with your minor pieces and my Wandering King, I'm not getting anywhere out of that. But if we could just go back, let's just see that. I think you put it on the analysis board, and I'll switch to Twitch for just a second.
Oh yeah, okay. I think
let's just see how bad it was.
I think bishop at G5 I think is a good move, and then
Here I
maybe
played queen g4.
I
If I had
thought
played,
maybe bishop at f4 straight away is maybe more correct. I'm not sure. But king takes h5, bishop e2 check, and then it'd be something like knight at f3, which looks pretty wild.
okay,
Yeah, we can ask the engine, or we can ponder on this for a while. But
this
I
looks
originally looked at
crushing.
pawn at g4,
Yeah,
but that you can kind of play king takes g4 h3 and king takes f4, and then you're running back via g5 f6. But
exactly.
bishop e2 is interesting, because knight at g4 might be forced, and then like h3, and then you're like, do you play
Exactly.
g5? And it's
Right.
you might be okay, but it's not
It feels
straightforward. It's
no, but it feels like I'm losing. First of all, lots and lots of minor pieces uh, with checks.
yeah,
which,
or big
which,
threats.
yeah,
And that's why I say it becomes a very unclear position for many moves afterwards. So if you have a look at the engine, though, it probably just says like pawn at f6 and black is winning with this. So just before I do that, I think for the viewers as well, g takes h5 is one line we talked about. Pawn at g5 check, king g6, bishop takes f5.
that's a nice mate.
And
Yeah,
if you capture the bishop in either way, knight at e5 is mate.
right.
And if king f7, yeah, you're probably not standing much better. There's like even knight at e5, bishop takes e6, or bishop takes e6 first, and bishop takes, and then knight at e5. Yeah,
It
you
looks
might be
terrible.
okay with king g8, but white's got play.
Look, it feels bad. Looks terrible.
Feels bad. Oh yeah, queen takes h5 check, probably possibly even stronger there.
Right.
Yeah, but yeah, let's have a look what the engine thinks after pawn at, well, let's say after king h6 even.
Right.
We'll see. Does it even consider bishop takes g7 sound? Because
Okay.
yeah, and bishop takes g7 is not its first option, but it still considers it plus. So knight at h5 it agrees with,
Mm-hmm.
and it actually gives plus 15 after king h6, believe it or not, and pawn at f6 is the move it suggests. So I wasn't too far off track actually with pawn at f6,
Right.
according to the engine.
Well done. Well
Bishop at
done. Well done.
g5, and it does in fact call mate in 9 after queen takes g5.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay. I mean, it felt like
f4.
it should, right?
Wow, f4 though is a key move. That's just something I wouldn't have
Okay,
seen.
that wasn't on my radar.
No.
F4, instinctively, lifting the kimono like that. That's that's verboten.
Yeah. Oh, it's yeah. It's what I thought. It's at the right time. You've got to play a bishop e2 check. That's the key resource,
Right.
because it can easily go wrong. Like you can be thinking, oh, h3, and then suddenly the king's getting, it's on
Away.
g3, and like it's like I'm gonna mate you with my king. It's like queen at h2 is gonna happen. But
Right. Oops.
yeah, theoretically f4 is still mate in 8. And that's what I said, like,
Nice.
while we were playing this, like, the computer will just kind of announce, oh, you think king h6 is something? Pawn at f6, I win. Like, and
Yeah.
I had to do it
Yeah.
the human way, where,
Yeah.
yeah, in the end,
Well, I'm
yeah,
just a,
queen h4.
I'm just a little curious. After you took, if I had played queen, okay, I played queen g4. If I had taken on e7,
I thought queen takes e7 was strongest, actually, and,
and how does the computer
computer thinks bishop
queen
at
takes
b4. I mean,
what?
yeah, no. You're like, what? What it's doing is it's probably trying to make black expend a pawn on d6 so that you can't use it as a blocker at a later
Gotcha.
date with bishop e2. That's what I think it's doing. And bishop at b4 is threatening the queen to, to
With
capture
check
with
again.
check. I was actually thinking if you play queen takes e7, I was considering straight up bishop at f4 and king takes h5 and bishop at e2.
Okay.
Where I thought, if you play pawn at g4, I can play h3 or something.
Mm-hmm.
And that would stop
Well, I
knight at
have.
h. That would stop knight at h3 mate. And believe it or not,
Right.
computer assesses G5 is equal. And
Wow.
that just shows like dynamically the depth here that even the computers go and, like white's a cold queen down, but the initiative that you get in Crazyhouse, it's assessing as well. I don't know who's
Yep.
winning here.
Yeah, but I think it's just so much easier to play the position with a safe king on G1.
Yeah,
So it's
you'd take white. You'd take white any day if you're a human player, right?
I would. That's for sure. I'd take white.
All
Okay,
right.
revenge time. You're in
Revenge
trouble,
time.
dude.
An interesting game to begin with, though. That was
Yeah,
a goodie.
that was a goodie. But I tell you, you played like the computer there with that move F6, and it's so frustrating when your threats are ignored. It's like, I hate it. Now, just to finish the story, so my friend Robert Hamilton, he's organizing this Grandmasters double round robin on the island of Grand Manan in Canada. Is just off the coast of New Brunswick in the Atlantic Ocean. And he calls up Igor Ivanov, Grandmaster from Canada. He was the champion of Canada at the time. He goes, Igor Robert Hamilton, yes. Igor would like to invite you to a tournament on the island of Grand Manan. Yes. We pay your travel expenses, hotel, and full pension. Yes. And we give you a starting money of 1,500 Canadian dollars. Yes. There's 20,000 Canadian dollars in prizes for 6 players, including Yasser Seirawan, Anatoly Lane, John Vanderville, and yourself. Yes. Well, at this point, Robert's run out of bullets. He doesn't know how to continue the conversation. So he says, and there's free drinks. And Igor goes, free drinks. Igor, play. Grand Manan. Bam. And hangs up the phone, like instantly. Robert's holding the phone, thinking to himself, I should have started with the free drinks.
Okay. So that's the story behind that. Okay, good to know.
Okay. So I mean, so now when it's like, yes. Well, what else? Come on. Okay. Forthcoming. You have to be forthcoming. All right.
Understood. All right.
I've rematched you.
Okay. It says you've left the game. Hang on. I've got a live board with you.
Mm-hmm.
Am I on a different board for some weird reason?
You might be, because you did an analysis board. You might need to re-challenge me or something.
Yeah, let's abort whatever we've got in front of us, and then I'll re-challenge you, and then I should have black. So if it gives me white, we'll just abort and do it again.
Okay.
Yeah, so we'll abort here and we'll go again.
Okay. There we go.
All
right. So I fear that this match is going to be an E4 D4 Donnybrook.
Could be. So for the viewers here, so to let them in on my strategy, which you can hear anyway, yes. But
yes. Keep it to yourself. Yes.
The problem I have with Yasser is he's very, very good and strategically sound, and if I allow the position to be too comfortable for a chess grandmaster like Yasser, it's going to go badly for me. So I have to try to keep things dynamic somehow.
And mix it up. Yeah.
Gotta keep him on his toes, keep him honest with the tactics and all that. So that's what I'm thinking when I'm playing my openings. I'm like, how can I find a way to make this as unchess-like as possible at some stage, or else it's bad news for me.
Okay. Now, having said that, I in turn, am trying to play as Justin's saying, sound strategic. Lee. Now, fianchettoing in Crazyhouse is a bit of a gamble, I think. But on the other hand, it can pay off if white doesn't um, just do things in an accurate way. Now, what am I doing about knight c6? I do not know. Let me just develop. Developing is always good.
Okay, bishop d3, he says.
Develop. I was contemplating bishop c4 as well, hitting the f7 pawn, but somehow this felt a little bit more comfortable. I'm protecting e4, and maybe on a good day I can play for e5 and stuff. Okay, Justin's going after my d pawn.
Wow,
Okay.
donation from Ulon Kolofid, $20. Amazing.
Ooh, thank you.
That's very
That was
generous, Ulon.
Ulan?
Yes, and
Yes.
it's probably not Ulon's first donation. I think Ulon has donated $20 before, so that's $40 in total. Thank you very much, Ulon. That's very
That's very
generous.
nice. That is very nice. Okay, a double threat by... I'm just going to... Justin, I'm going to challenge you to take my pawn and open up the game. It just feels like your king...
Ooh, okay. Throwing down the gauntlet.
Yeah. Your king is still there. Still there.
Okay. So, I mean, basically, the knight h5, I was just saying, I'm either going to get a knight on f4 or I'm going to win a pawn on d4, and
Right.
I felt
C3.
that was in line with being disruptive.
True that. The alternative I felt was knight b3, but somehow in Crazyhouse you really want your pieces pointing towards the guy's king.
That's right.
And if you've got to sacrifice to do it, so be it. I mean, that's just the way it is. You got to do that at times. So the knight on b3 didn't. I found it offensive. Hey, look at that. Justin said, well, okay. Now, okay. That makes actually a lot of sense. Just the knight is poorly placed on h5, and it's much more devilish on f4. It has all kinds of nasty threats.
It does indeed.
And that is reason number one. Okay. Now, how do I change things up as well? Okay, so let's go.
Ooh, Yasser. Wow.
Well,
Okay.
I mean, it's early afternoon. Got to do a little crazy.
Wow. All right. I'm forcing tactical Yasser to come out early here.
Big time.
Not what I was expecting.
Okay. First of all, I think I should try to get this kind of a check-in. I don't know if I should do that, but it feels right. It kind of gets out of the ugly. I'm closing my eyes. The ugly threats on the king's side. Closing my eyes to those guys.
Okay. I feel like something like a critical move here.
Well, I'm a little unsure about my decision of rook e1 still, but okay, because knight e4 was very compelling.
Yes, and that's where I'm seeing if there's a move order issue with Rook E1 or not. But I don't know if I can claim that that depth is going to matter. Wanyoni donated $10. Wow, amazing! People have
All
come
right.
with pockets open today.
Well, thank you all for that, and
Phenomenal
thank you all
support.
for joining.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Wanyoni.
And of course, all the donations are, as Justin said, are going to support the World Championship
That's right.
for Crazyhouse. And Justin is very generously guaranteed the outcome.
That's correct. That's correct.
And did you say the goal was 2020, as in $2,020?
Oh no, just 2,000. 2,000 is what is guaranteed, and we've laid out the prize structure and everything already.
I think I confused it with the 2020 World Championships and and then the amount of money we were trying to raise.
Sure.
So it was like I thought that was a pretty clever goal in terms of prize fund 2020. It's 2020 or bust, just.
All right, pawn at e7. We'll be sensible.
Do that, please. Do be sensible. Okay.
Now, this is one of those all-in moments.
Indeed.
Which
I feel the same.
I'd pre-calculated, but I'm not sure if I got it right. So, yeah.
Okay.
There we go. We're either winning or we're losing here, guys. There's no in between.
That's for darn sure. Okay.
Oh, I thought there were only 2 candidate moves, but you found another one. Is that the in-between move, which undoes me?
I really don't know. I mean, with perfect hindsight, I might have wanted to play, like Bishop, I don't know, attack that knight on F6.
I simply thought Queen takes A1 or Bishop takes A1, and I was going to be winning with H takes G2, but I had missed
Correct.
Pawn at G7, which after Rook G8 means that F8 is open.
Right.
And that makes all the difference. All the difference.
Right.
So I kind of got to backpedal here and go for broke or go home. What's it going to be? Okay. No, pawn at G7 is a fantastic move. I'm actually quite disappointed now that I've gone down this line. Okay. Here we go.
Okay. Oof. Uh-oh. Ooh. Sorry. I was just about to play Rook to D5.
Ah, damn. I could have taken that one.
That's a blow. Ooh. Oh dear. Holy smokes. Now. Oh no. Okay. Oh no. Okay, so I've got Rook D8 check. I think you got to take that. Then I got Bishop B5 check, and I can take on D1 with check, but I'm afraid I might be letting your king somehow escape. Okay, so this should be right. Okay, I think I'm flying a little bit by the seat of my pants on this one, I must say.
Yeah, so viewers called a draw down this line, but I think white has better than a draw here, because Queen E5 is coming.
That's my hope. Yeah, that queen e5
and you should be better there, but that's curtains for me, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well played. That's disappointing for me because out of the opening, I felt I was a lot better once my knight's on f4, and
Yeah.
I don't know if maybe I can play knight takes e5 instead of pawn at h3, and
I'd
that's
love
also
to
quite
do
sensible.
I'd love to do an analysis if you don't mind, because I thought that uh, I was being clever with f6.
Yeah, pawn at f6. I did not see pawn at f6, so it's like I got the position I wanted with knight on f4. I'm like, this is not strategic grind at all. It's going to be
Right.
tactical, and then I ended up losing the tactical battle. So
Right. That
it's
was
right strategy, but I didn't see pawn at g7 after queen takes a1, where even if bishop takes a1, I was just going to say, well, h takes g2, and I'm like, rook at h1's coming. If you can't mate me,
yeah.
that's it.
Show the viewers. Yeah.
And
Yeah. That was
I thought knight f6 check, and I was going to play king d8,
right.
and maybe the one move I have missed is actually bishop f1 check.
I have seen this, but I was afraid that after bishop f1, rook
Rook at
d
d6.
rook at d6, and I thought that I was the one gonna get killed because
Um,
your black's king looks a lot safer, funnily enough, than white's. White's king looked like it's in real danger.
yeah, I think bishop takes g2 there, and you're kind of going, well, I'll recapture your rook with check on d1, so then I've got pawn at g7. So, but yeah, I actually didn't see bishop f1. I just thought knight at f6, king d8, and it didn't matter. Bishop b5 check. I'll just put a pawn, on d6, and how do you stop rook at h1? That was basically the question.
Right.
But pawn at g7 changes all that, and I'll explain to the viewers why. If I simply play rook g8, which is not
Right.
what I did, then bishop takes a1 is much more effective. If h takes g2, now what I think is important is actually leading with queen at f8. And this seems
Right.
counterintuitive, but like you'd think, oh, knight f6 check for sure, and then queen at f8, but then you allow a blocker at bishop at e8,
That's
and
right.
that makes all the difference. Whereas if you lead with queen at f8 check first, after the rook captures, then knight f6 is actually mating, because I'm not able to block an x-ray defend with the rook on g8. I've already committed myself to taking on f8.
I'm going to give myself the honest engine. I'd actually seen the early queen f8 followed
Yes,
by knight f6.
okay. So king
I was ready
d7,
for that one.
king d7 would have been forced, but then here I thought there'd be a
Bishop
bishop
b5
somewhere.
Yeah,
Maybe.
I thought bishop b5 check
Yeah,
because I saw a knight c5 kind of mate plan.
so if pawn at d5, then you've got there's bishop takes c6. There's knight c5, king up.
How about knight e5 check?
Knight e5 check, king e6.
And f7 is hanging?
Yes, queen takes f7. That's straightforward.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I calculated this was no good for black, which is why I resorted to queen takes d1,
Right.
which is still running into problems. But here I can't even play bishop at f8 because that gets captured. Queen takes f8, king takes, and now rook at h8 is just
Right.
nice because I have to block with a rook or a queen, and
Yes.
rook at h8 is mate. So pawn at g7 is incredibly strong because of this depth in the tactics, which is not immediately visible, and
Right.
I just didn't see that from queen takes b2. But even then,
I liked it from a tactical point of view because it's kind of funny. When you play queen b2, you're on the diagonal. And then I go bishop f6, and then suddenly that my bishop on f6 allows me to put a pawn on g7, and you're like, what? I had the diagonal, protected, But g7 was a good move. And I thought you were going to have to play what you did, which was Queen D1, but I thought that it was going to be a mate. The result.
Yeah, I mean, I thought the way you went was straightforward. I actually saw King D6,
different one?
Bishop E5 check.
Okay.
And all I was saying was it's very similar, but if King takes C5, Rook at B5 is mate.
I have missed Rook B5.
So
I missed that.
The net is there. I just have no way out. King D5, C4 is the same. And if I take the bishop, it's no different because your queen gets active.
Right, exactly.
That's exactly the same finish.
Yeah.
So very nice game. I got
the weird part
the
was
position I wanted, and I didn't get the result.
The weird part is the Rook B5 never occurred to me. Right here,
Sorry.
Go ahead. It's okay. That line where the game line.
Yes.
Where the king went to D7. Oops,
yes.
Sorry. Knight E5, Queen B2, Bishop F6. Yeah, Queen A1. Yeah, here, and this right here. Instead of Knight C5, the way I wanted to use my rook was to play Rook D8
or Rook
D8 check.
Yeah, I have to take that because King E6 has made it in one with Knight C5 or Knight G5, so I have to take that.
Yeah, and then
Bishop
I was
B5
thinking.
check.
That's right. That was my alternative.
But here is where I was thinking King E6.
Bishop B5 check, and what were you thinking? Sorry.
King E6. You gotta be really careful here because if I might like run away on H5 or something like Knight G5 check, King F5. Like
King F5
and then Knight H4, King G4, and then I'm like, hey, I'm like getting away here, like.
That's remarkable.
G4, Bishop take. So like when you were saying that, I was like, ooh, like he might let me out of the bag here if he's not careful. Like,
that's dirty.
Because I can't let you take my queen with check, so I have to go. I mean, King E6 doesn't look intuitive. Why step into a double check? But
right. But King E6.
I was quietly hoping.
Because I'm a little bit in shock because seriously, it's not that I was on the edge of doing this, but it was definitely Plan B, like with a big exclamation mark. I really thought that this was a great alternative variation.
So computer does call mate in 6. Sorry to spoil it, but it is if Knight EG5. Yeah,
that's
even if my king goes to G4, it's suggesting that Rook takes D1 is fine because I actually don't have a mate, and your knight covers G2, which is stopping mate from happening.
I see.
but it gives Knight FG5 a little more specific, because your knight can still go to G3. I think that's the key, and then that way.
Right.
Yeah, you got queen takes H6 and Knight E4 check. It's slightly different using that knight first.
Right.
You have Knight G3.
Yeah, the queen on H8 gets in the game. Yeah.
So technically you're still alright, but yeah, it's very much cleaner. What you did, Bishop takes E7 is a clear knockout. Knockout.
Yeah, Rook D8, like I said, was the key alternative. If I had spoiled the game with Rook D8, I would have been like, hate it. Okay, and it's actually kind of funny, and just to share it with the audience, as we were coming online, Justin and I were talking. He was telling me about putting his children to bed and falling asleep with little one. I was saying that for me, I'm really surprised in a lot of the variants, like Bug House, for example. White doesn't have that big an advantage, but I somehow feel like in this variant of Crazyhouse, that white has a big advantage.
Yes.
I do quite okay, I think, against the computer when I'm white, but my results, and go right through the floor when I'm black, and more specifically when I'm black and I'm facing 1e4. So like, I'm giving Justin an insight into how he's going to crush me in the match.
All right.
But it's true. E4 is just a really tough move.
Yeah, and it's getting tougher and tougher by the day with all the study that goes into the theory with stockfish. I mean, it's before stockfish came along, so much was unknown and uncharted territory that even the top players were like, yeah, we get to this position and I'll like take either side because it's dynamically equal and I got no idea. And it's really like killed a lot of those lines which were previously considered equal, but it's by like this ridiculously theoretical, like where one pawn or one tempo in it is actually the critical play, and it's like white is winning every line after that. And now it's actually out in the open a lot quicker for people to find, rather than playing 1,000 games of the same line to figure it out. So yeah.
Okay.
If you don't mind, I'll just take 2 minutes actually.
Sure.
I've got some message on my phone and I just need to check a voicemail. I'll be back shortly. All right.
Get to it.
All right.
Yeah. And okay, everybody. Well, Justin is just. Oh, that's the problem. I can't do it. I was just going to show a and from the analysis board, but of course Justin is the moderator, so you're not seeing my board, you're seeing his board, and I was just going to show you a line in the second game that I had hoped to play, but we hadn't looked at it. But anyway, I just wanted to say that once again, a big shout out. Thank you everybody for sharing your weekend. Happy Saturday. And supporting his stream. To my mind, Justin is really, really remarkable Crazyhouse player. As he was saying, before the Stockfish and Chess Engines kind of really took over Crazyhouse, I enjoyed playing a lot of Crazyhouse. And as he was saying, the positions were equal, or we thought they were equal. And now when I got a chance to play with Justin, and more or less about 2 years ago, I think we really started playing with one another, I really came to respect and admire his knowledge, his understanding of Crazyhouse really a lot. I think he is a great world champion, and so for me it's really a great honor and a pleasure when we both mutually have some time to have a stream like today and play against one another. Now that he's a daddy and all of that good stuff, it's a pity that he's not playing in the World Championships, because he's still, in my view, forced to be reckoned with, and certainly one of the best players in the world, probably of all time. So this is really a nice treasure moment.
Okay,
I'm honoring you in your absence. So whatever you do not replay the broadcast for yourself.
It's like, don't ever tell him this. Don't ever tell him this. Yeah, don't ever tell him this. But it's one of those moments. Yeah. Don't ever tell him I said something nice about him. Yeah.
Right.
He's a horrible player.
Horrible. A disgusting human being. What are you talking about?
I hate how he drags me on stream, and I have to play this variant, and like it's not normal chess.
What's going on? Okay, so we need a rematch.
Yes,
and I think
I've sent you a new challenge. No.
Have you? Go ahead, do it again, please.
Just then. Alright, I'll stop. Hang on, we'll go again. Right.
Okay. I don't see
No.
it.
I'm coming back. Hang on.
Okay.
And yes, it is honestly always an honor to have you on here, and look, the community appreciates it so much.
Yeah, I mean, no. Oh, let's abort and
Yep.
rematch. There you go. Yeah, no, this is really, this is so much fun for me. And as I was just saying to the audience, I really don't get a chance to have these types of sessions. And I really look forward to them. They're great fun. And it just seems, it was strange. In 2003 is when I officially retired from chess. 17 years ago, right?
Right.
And I was thinking to myself, hey, man, got to work on my golf swing. I don't have a golf swing, by the way. And in retirement, I got to do something, of course. And I was thinking that, man, I would have all the time in the world to do this, that, and the other thing. And I feel like I'm much busier today
Yeah.
than I was ever when I was before. So it's like, what happened to my retirement? It's bizarre. How did that happen? Okay, now Bishop G5. Now, how am I supposed to get a solid position against you? Yuck.
Well, that's the goal. What we're aiming against, actually. Yeah. So it's
it's not to allow me to get a good solid position. Okay.
That's the problem. Where if you have a solid position, it all goes wrong.
Okay. Let's see what we've got going on over here. So now, I'm assuming that's a big threat that you would take that, right? Takes. I get to go there. You get to go there. And what's the outcome? Probably not good.
So another side note for the viewers. I need to get Yasser in a position where he has to feel things. If he's discreetly figuring stuff out, I'm doing something wrong. Okay, so when you hear Yasser say, "I feel this is right," or "I'm not sure," or that's the zone I need to get him into, because if he's not even in that area, I'm in trouble.
Okay. Well, I was a little bit afraid of your capturing on f5 and dropping a knight in on h5, and then I rook g8 is starting to look a little bit unpleasant. So I played the move bishop g4 with a dual purpose, keeping you honest on d4. Again, of course, like my computer friend, you ignore completely my threat of, every fiber of my being wants to capture the pawn on d4. Will I do that? Of course not. Of course not. Not even close.
You're a pawn grabber, yes. Come on.
Yeah, well, I want to grab the pawn on g2 now that you mention it.
Okay.
Another obvious key thing about Crazyhouse is just how important the initiative is. I mean, you can be a queen up, but if you're struggling, you're just struggling with the initiative. You're done in. That move. Whoa! For some reason, I'm expecting you to sacrifice your queen. I mean, I've grown accustomed to your.
Sorry to let you down.
I mean, I am disappointed. You should be ashamed with yourself. I mean, you've got a reputation that you've got to live up to.
So let's be clear here. A queen capturing h5, h4, or f5 is not actually the deterrent. It's only that I've got to defend a pawn on g2.
Okay, you're making a great point there. Yes. Okay, so your takes, and then I'm. Hold on. Takes. I could be in big troubles. I got a feeling I'm in trouble regardless, actually.
So to the audience, did you hear that? He said, I got a feeling that I'm in trouble. So we're in the
That,
right kind of zone here. This is
which is
the
very sad.
well. It depends on your point of view,
Point
really.
of view. Yeah. Okay. Geez. Once again, I'm in trouble really early, like right out of the opening, where only a dozen moves in. H5, was that move wrong? I don't know. I think I'm in really big trouble. I'm expecting
Or
a,
B6.
a Justin sacrifice
A
coming.
Justin sacrifice. Okay.
I know. I know. But I was hoping that I would use B7 for my king. That would be like a safety hatch. So you're not disappointing me. Thus far, I had calculated this far. Yay.
And had you calculated it was good or bad for you?
I thought I was in trouble, but the problem was I didn't see how to avoid the trouble. I mean, it's one thing to say, "Oh man, I'm in trouble," but if there's nothing you can do about it, you just have to
Yeah.
grin it, right?
Um. Yeah, I got options here.
Unfortunately, you do. Unfortunately, yes, you do.
Um.
Mm.
Yeah, I've played this without thinking much, but I don't know if that was right.
It it was your intuition
I'm just going up instinct. I mean,
on
the
instinct.
first game, pawn at f6 was actually an instinctive move, and by luck the engine agreed with pawn at f6 as well. But that is actually
Yeah.
purely obtained by intuition from my side. I got to be honest. Um,
I gotta tell you, I don't think that was really luck. Okay. Um, Now this is really the problem. I had seen this far, and I was thinking that I was going to put a bishop on g5,
oh, okay.
and I didn't. I simply don't believe it. Let's put it that way. Um, there's a lot of things about my position that are hard to believe. Uh,
And it's one of those moments I like quoted, like, there are a lot of, like, taken out of context completely. Like, there are a lot of things about my position that I don't believe, like Yasser Seirawan 2020.
exactly. Well, it goes back to I was playing Bent Larson in a tournament, Mar del Plata, and it was a tough game. And we went to the analysis room, and I was explaining that I wanted to make the sacrifice. And Bent said to me in very loud voice, big crowd watching our analysis, of course, he said, "Nobody believes you." Because nobody believes you. You're not convincing anybody. It's like, damn, that was harsh. Nobody believes you.
So I'm gonna address a query from the audience. This is Mario Shev or Mario Shev. Sorry, I'm not sure how to pronounce. Thank you earlier for the subscription with Twitch Prime. At the risk of sounding like Hikaru right there, but he was suggesting pawn at e7, which was a move I was looking at instead of knight takes
Exactly.
c7. And the idea is that if knight takes bishop takes, you can't play queen takes because of knight at c6. But in fact,
Right.
I threw the move out because of the immediate queen takes e7, bishop takes e7, knight takes e7.
Which was my intention, by the way.
Yeah, and maybe it's still fine. There's
Good
the bishop
for
at d6, but I just thought material-wise black was looking good, and it was possibly too hard for me to find a way in. So that's my response to the viewer there on that one.
Exactly. Now, I just played the move bishop a6. I did it because the highly desirable king takes d7, unfortunately for me, I felt walked into bishop b5 or even pawn to b5, and I was going to go down in a hail of attackers. So my bishop a6, like I said, when I played the move b6, I was really looking for an opportunity of playing king c8 to b7, and that would be like a little safety hatch I could crawl into. Of course, Justin's not going to allow me to do that, but at least do understand that I did play b6 with purpose way back. Way back.
Yeah, Yasser here claiming that there was moves with purpose. That's the
yeah. Well, as a kid, I always admired, like Steinitz's e4. Steinitz is white in a regular chess. e4, e5, f4. e5 takes f4. Steinitz played b2, b3. And what was his idea? His idea was that after queen h4 check, king e2, his king would make a run to the b2 square. Like what? Seriously. Okay.
But no, I've played e6 b6 in Crazyhouse, and a key idea I once used to employ was actually there would be a number of lines where the king actually runs to the queen side, and b7, yeah, like not unlike this, becomes an option, which is actually quite desirable.
Okay, now this is actually suddenly getting interesting, because you did something I thought you were going to take on g7. Okay, this does give me an option, I think. No, I'm not sure anymore, but it felt like you were giving me an option. Okay, sorry, not going very well. King takes, and you got knight d6 check. So much for my safety valve idea. And my bishop on a6 at the moment is not doing enough for me. Okay. Not doing enough for me. Wow.
Okay. There are options. There are always options.
Choices.
I have 3 candidate moves, and that's more than I should have in this position. That's why I need to think about it.
3 candidate moves. That sounds like a lot, yeah.
Yeah. There's bishop takes e7, there's queen takes g7, and there's bishop at a4. They're the 3 candidate moves. I gotta figure them out.
Ooh, bishop at a4. That has a nasty feel to it. Ooh, no, I take on c5, then you take and take. I see. Yeah, you're right. You definitely have options. No question about it. Oh boy. So once again, it's like I'm, out of the opening, and I'm like, I'm in deep trouble, and like, what did I do? What did I do that was so bad? Oh boy. Must have done something really bad.
Alright, we'll grab this one.
That looks like a good grab. Okay. I wanted to do some grabbing myself. I'm going to lose a lot of firewood here.
do I have this right or not?
Uh-oh, that sounds bad. Okay. So,
Yes.
yes,
Now,
yes.
yes. This is the move that matters, isn't it? So.
Okay, so if I take, I'm getting mated. Take on c3, take on c5. King b7, I'm sure I'm getting mated. I don't think I even have to intuit. I just...
Yeah, I haven't even calculated mate after bishop takes c3. I'm just going to claim it, and then I'll figure it. I'll figure it out later.
Well, you can't just claim it. Just you got to prove it. But I sure regret not having a pawn. That is, I needed a pawn in hand there.
I could be wrong, but my intuition says that bishop takes c3, and if I don't have something there, then I shouldn't have played queen takes g7 long ago.
No. I think it's mate. I really do. I just don't see any way that I could avoid that.
So let's calculate this for the audience in silence, so you can think. But
no, I just. No, I think, yeah, you just get me. It's not even close, unfortunately. It's not even close. Unfortunately, this isn't much better. Not much better.
Okay, queen takes d4. Okay, so now, as an old friend used to say, he said, "My turn."
My turn. Actually, a dear friend of ours,
yes,
Jeremy Silman, and I think he's a wonderful author. He grew up in Oregon. I come from the Pacific Northwest, Washington, and eventually he made his way to Frisco, where he then matriculated all the way down to L.A. But for a while, he was in the Northwest, and we played a lot of blitz games together.
Sure.
And he had a very unusual style, very defensive-minded. It was sort of like, the first 30 moves, all he wanted to do was fortify. And then there would be me, attacking him like crazy, like move after move after move. And then it was like, finally, he would say, "My turn." And it was like, okay, that looks like a good move, because now you're making me put something in hand. And I think I'm just going to get mated, but okay, let's see it. See, one of the nice things about the knight on c4, you see, it defends the d6 square, so there's no knight d6 killer. But I'm very proud of myself, Justin. I made it to the b7 square. When I played b6, I may lose the game, but I fulfilled my destiny, which
Fair
was
enough.
to make it to the b7 square. Now you can blow me out of my bunker.
Have I got this right? Should I use a pawn or a bishop here? Hang on.
A pawn or a bishop? Does it matter which one?
Doesn't matter which one is another question, yes.
No, I think it's an easy mate, right? Okay, so king b8 is mate. King king c8 will walk into, I don't know, queen d e8 check, and then you will put a pawn and you'll make another. So this is actually no question. I have to walk the gauntlet, and I think that.
All right, we should not be complacent here. This is how we lose games.
Well, I mean, if you lose games like this, it's okay. Because, look at that. You didn't even play bishop a5 check.
Well, then you get knight takes a5, a3, king c4.
Knight takes a5, mate.
No, knight takes a5, a3 check, king c4.
Knight on b3 takes.
Oh, knight on b3 takes a5. Ah, yeah, that is mate. Okay.
Here you allow me a. Ooh, look at this. No.
No.
I'm afraid. I'm afraid.
It's funny. My brain can see knight at a5, but it couldn't see knight takes a5.
Well, I mean, you blew me out of b7, but you got to give me credit, Justin. I made it to b7.
You made it to b7. You made it all the way to.
Nice game. I mean,
nice game.
Jeez, I'm out of the. I'm out of the opening in just terrible shape. I never survived that. It's like, wow, what did I do wrong there? Boy, that was bad.
So this worked out. This worked out not too bad last time. So I'm just avoiding d4 d5 because I feel any structure that results from that is going to be favoring Yasser. And so I need to make the position imbalanced somehow by fianchettoing and doing something completely different. Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
Straight for h4. Okay.
Right. Well, I grew up playing the Perk defense as black, and a lot of my opponents would play moves like attacking moves like h4 and bishop e2 and g4 g5.
Yeah.
So I came to respect them, those types of attacks.
Yes, so Oppa Wesson frequently chucks in an early h4, mostly just for fun, but actually demolishes me very convincingly if I just say, well, all right, attack my king, whatever, and I usually pay for it. But
okay, well, that's good to know that I'm not the only one who has such ideas.
But no, it's non-theoretical intentions from when he tries it. So that's our matches are often, I guess there's a joy in not winning straight out of theory, and we both tend to with the positions we get, you end up with matches where you both got to play.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's where it's really, really fun. And like you say, you're not just winning from some theoretically superior knowledge, but through just good play. Now here, I'm not sure. Do I want you to play e5 or? I don't know. Okay, let's play it like this. I have a hesitation there between playing for the move knight f3 and d5 or d5 right away and h5. So I wasn't sure, and when you're unsure,
then I'm happy because when you're saying, yes, I'm quite solid here, and we'll just slowly progress, and I'm not making any weaknesses here. That's when I'm like, he's in his comfort zone, and it's not going my way.
He's a happy camper.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
Yeah. Okay. So let's just see here. One of the amazing things I think, what I really enjoy about chess is the combination and this idea that your material deficits can be overcome.
Yeah. Yes.
It's
Yes.
and the thing that I really enjoy about Crazyhouse is that you've got this combination that's really ongoing. You're constantly renewing, rekindling the fire, and I think that that's really what I find so attractive about Crazyhouse as a variant. That it's the ongoing combination.
Or in a way, sometimes you're not sure if it's still ongoing or not, and
Right. Like, oh, that didn't work, crash and burn. But yes, exactly. Okay. So I'm going to get rid of that guy just because
that guy.
somehow I like my knight. I like, pardon me, I apologize. I like the bishop on e3. It's like it's doing something there. It's doing. Oh, okay.
Now that was originally going to be bishop takes g4, and
I fully expected bishop takes g4. I really did.
Bishop takes g4 led me to think, hang on, that's a chess kind of move. Like I have to double the pawns here and make it look unfamiliar somehow, and then open up the h file, which wouldn't be necessarily desirable in chess, but I've got to muddy the waters, I think.
Yeah. Now in Crazyhouse, Castles Long really does have more issues than in regular chess. In regular chess, you castle long, you play king b1, and somehow the extra tempo, it gets kind of justified. But in Crazyhouse, the king on the queen side, man, it's just it's
different,
not
isn't
that
it?
easy. Yeah, it's very doubtful. Okay, you took a pawn. Well done. A pawn grabber. Not bad.
I find you and I like exchanging seats like every few moves. It's like, you're meant to be the pawn grabber, and here I am trying to just go, well...
Look, I know my role, but what the hell are you doing? Aha, okay. So, let's see. Do we really want to do this? Knight d5 or knight f4? Knight f4, I'm not really sure I fully like. Okay, not sure.
Not sure, he says.
Not sure.
I have a sneaking suspicion you're doing something sneaky, and I can't see what it is.
Oh, good. I like that. Good to know.
Why is that? Why aren't I seeing you? No, I don't see it. So,
yes.
I have to assume that
it's
not there. It doesn't exist. There. It doesn't exist in my mind, and it doesn't exist anywhere.
Good thinking, Jess. I'm backing you 100% on this one.
And that's why I don't believe what I'm thinking.
I don't believe me either.
Right. Yeah, this could all go... It feels very solid at the moment, and it could all go south really quickly.
Good.
Not sure, he says. I think that's a good move, knight d5.
Well, it got you thinking. I give myself credit for that. It's got you perplexed. So what motivated me to play the move knight d5 was, in my mind's eye, if I got a pawn, I could put the pawn on h6. So I was thinking, I put a pawn on h6, and I really discombobulate black's forces.
Well, now it's revealed that I hadn't seen that, so you were sneaking around me.
Yeah, and so that was the intentions, let's put it that way, behind knight to d5 was get a pawn and target the h6 square. Now, having said all of that, was it the right thing to do? I mean, let's assume it was, and continue.
Okay.
Continue with the intention.
My more direct issue was knight at b5, where I simply can't cover c7.
Okay.
And so I had to attack your knight. That's what I thought you were sneaking around for. And
I very well may have been sneaking around, lurking.
Lurking.
Yes.
King b1, stopping rook at a1. That's a good move.
Well, that's the problem once again with castling long in Crazyhouse, is that even after you take along this extra tempo, this king b1 move, which in regular chess more or less satisfies the position, in Crazyhouse the castling long, somehow you're more vulnerable than when you're on the king side. I'm not quite sure why it is. I just know it is.
It's bad things have happened enough that you're convinced.
I'm convinced that castles long is probably a loss of at least one tempo, and probably as many as two. And in Crazyhouse, that's a lot. But it can be justified if, like, for example, in this position, if I had a pawn in hand, the threat of pawn to g7 would probably justify, my being, down a rook or whatever it is I'm down. At the moment, because I don't have a pawn, I still have the threat of knight b5 and taking a pawn. So I think I do have a threat here. I hope. Ooh, sorry, your time. Let me.
Oh no, don't apologize. I'll add some to yours as well.
Sorry. It kind of. I was just so intrigued by the position. I think I fell asleep in terms of like listening to myself natter on.
Yeah, I feel like I got the position I wanted, and then now I'm like,
what do I?
How do I convert this? I don't know.
Wow, convert. That's strong. Convert.
But I think that's where I could be going wrong. Maybe I'm overconfident here already.
Wow. Didn't think I kind of liked my position actually before you said convert. Convert really.
Well,
like,
I mean, material wise, I'm up a cold rook. But that's better. That's better than usual against you. So
material wise, a cold rook. Ooh, did I do that wrong? Maybe I should have taken the knight. Ooh, I might have erred egregiously. Ooh, I didn't. Yeah, exactly. Whenever I'm playing you, I really should, realize, be cognizant of the fact that you really like to sacrifice your queen, and that was not it was not good of me to give you what you really enjoy there. Ooh, yeah, I think I should have just recaptured. What if I had taken on e3? What was your intention? Fe3.
I'm not sure. It could have even been bishop at a6, just to hit the knight, stop b5, a6. Try to clean up with rook takes h6 at some stage.
Okay. Because
at least that was the plan, but
yeah. Okay, because I did have d4, d5 as a threat too. Ooh, I don't like where this is going. I don't like where this is going one little bit. Uh-oh. My spidey sense is tingling.
Your spidey sense. That spidey sense must not let you down.
It's been okay so far. Ooh. Oh, okay. Some reason I kind of had mentally, admonished myself and said, I'm busted. Now I'm less sure. Your king gets to weave a. Okay, takes, check. Again, I'm missing pawns. Okay, I'm going to hold my breath.
D5, and he holds his breath, he says. Okay.
I want to take a knight, play knight b5 check and queen c7. That would be sweet.
It would be.
If I could get those moves in, very unlikely that you'll be so generous. Whoa. Okay, that looks like a really good move. That kind of messes me up and around. Wow. Man, my kingdom for a pawn.
Kingdom for a pawn, he says.
Yeah, I'm really not getting it. Ooh, there's a nice mate there too. I think there's a mate with like knight a3 and rook b2, but maybe I'm wrong. Knight a3 and rook b2. Well, frankly, that's very, very scary. So I'm going to stop knight a3 check. Okay. I stopped knight a3 check, but it didn't help.
Well, your queen was kind of in a strange situation there where it didn't have a good square to go to.
Precisely. It really didn't. And wow. I'm going to get mated here. Yeah, I'm getting mated. Looks very, very, very good for you here, I'm afraid. I'm getting mated. Wow. Yeah, I should have recaptured on e3, and maybe your bishop a6 move would have been fine, but I got into real trouble on the queen sacrifice, and I know better because I played you enough times that you're so good at doing queen sacrifices that work. It's marvelous.
I better take this one. I didn't see a way to finish with check, so.
I didn't see it either, although I really want to say it was probably there just to make you feel bad.
Just to make you feel bad. It's like if you can't win on the board, then you got to win some other way.
Exactly. Well, what else to do? And I think I'm just running out of firewood, I'm afraid.
Yeah, I mean, this king a6 idea is why I've not been too concerned about knight at b5 from a long way out, because it's a really nice resource where I just escape the checks.
Exactly so. Yep, you certainly did that. Yep.
Oops. That wasn't part of the plan. I didn't see that. Um,
I don't think it. It may not have been part of the plan, but just don't play King B7. King B7 will get you into a lot of trouble.
King B7. Yes. No. I should probably just. I mean,
Avoid that.
if I had just played King A5, that would be a lot simpler.
Uh, yes, 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 yes. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy.
So
No trickies at all. No trickies at all here. Well, the weird part is there are some mating nets. It's just that you have to
I have to help.
walk into them. You have to let me deliver the checkmate.
And the sad part is I might even end up on C3 where bishop takes B2 is mate, but unfortunately you're pinned.
It's illegal.
It's like really like waving it in your face, like waving it in your face, like.
Right. You're on my doorstep here. Man. Okay. That is really sad. Really, really, really sad. Holy smokes, you've got 2 queens over there? I think that's too many. Oh.
Alright, well, I could put a bishop on B4, or I can just tuck away. I'm just making sure I'm not being complacent here.
Right.
But I think it's correct to block.
Oh boy. Oh boy. I think that was a good block.
King A5 instead of King B6 would have made things a bit simpler for me.
I mean, we would be on to another game by this point had that occurred. Oh boy. Man, I'm really facing the music over here. I don't have any trickies. I have lots of tricks. I just don't have enough material in hand.
Yeah.
Like, imagine how good. Well, actually, my position's probably still bad. But if I had a pawn, nothing to be done.
Okay.
Yeah.
Would be fancy.
Yeah, sweet. Look at you styling on me too.
I gotta make
Very
that
nice.
king on A4, play part of the mate, and
Yeah, I was thinking that it was only after I played knight b5, and I was thinking to myself, Justin's is going to sacrifice his queen. And I think after the queen sacrifice, I was busted, really.
yeah, I think if you took E3, I had a lot more thinking to do.
Yeah, because I do have threats of d4, d5. I've got knight b5 on tap.
Yeah. Would you have taken with the pawn or the queen?
I would have taken with the pawn.
With the pawn.
And then,
okay.
and then your bishop a6 is probably a good move because it stops knight b5. It does hit the knight on e2. But then after d5, you've got to worry about your rook on h8.
Yeah, so I've got bishop f6 to cover, but that's still a game. There's still plenty to play for.
Then I'm probably sacrificing my queen, like taking the knight on c6, and it gets to be messy. But I definitely it went south the moment I allowed the queen sacrifice, and it was a very nice. I mean, it looked very pretty.
Sure. So I'll read a few comments. There's
Yes.
Chunk Dress has said, I'd love to see more S-chess soon. I think the PyChess developers are doing great work and are working on an analysis board right now.
Wonderful.
So,
Wonderful.
On that note, well, before I go to another comment,
yes.
If I told you, what if we could try to get an S-chess tournament going, and not necessarily for you to participate or not, but just to get one going.
Yes.
With some prize money. What would you think? That's
Well,
that's an
first
idea.
of all, I think that my biggest fear is that the good people at SciChess are going to develop, this really wonderful SChess site, and I'm going to be like there 24 hours a day. like that's it. My life is officially ended. I'm playing, and I would be elated. I absolutely, I would commit myself in a nanosecond to playing in any type of SChess tournament. I mean, that's 100%.
Okay.
Prize
All right.
fund is nothing to do with my participation. I would absolutely adore it. So yes, if things keep developing nicely with SciChess and the developers, analysis board, and I think Lichess has just an absolutely beautiful user interface. The design is simple.
That's really nice. That's really nice.
It's so clean. I love it. I think that
Clean is the word.
Yeah, they've developed so. And if we had a situation like what we're doing right here, right now, I mean, again, my life's over. I mean, that's it. I'm playing SChess. Where's Yaz? He's playing SChess. He's streaming. He hasn't returned to planet Earth, So
Okay.
yeah, I'm all for it. I'll be on site 24/7. Now, we just had this situation a moment ago. I played Bishop G4, and you challenged me with H3, and then came your stock queen sacrifice on G7.
So you've adapted here.
Yes, exactly. That's a good way of putting it. I have adapted my strategy to take into account that Justin's going to sacrifice his queen for two minor pieces whenever the opportunity arises. He's so predictable. And me, I'm pretty predictable as well. I'm going to take it. Go down in a blaze of glory.
Okay, I'm going to take this.
Okay, I was going to unfortunately have to recapture, and maybe not the most beautiful of ways.
So the reason why I posed that question to you about
Yes.
SChess is in the wings, possibly, we may have an organizer and financier as well, and I'd be happy to support as well. But it may, in a sense, tip the scales if we also know that you'll be coming along as an ambassador to
I'm committed.
Committed. So I will take that back to the other party, and we'll have a serious think about it. So I'm talking like a SChess, world championship, which would be like Crazyhouse. It'd be blitz. There's no kind of FIDE behind it or anything like that.
Right.
But it'd be a similar flavor, if you like.
Oh, I would absolutely love it, and I gotta give the community a heads up warning that my co-developer, co-author, if you will, Bruce Harper.
Yes,
he is a FIDE master from Canada. He's played in the Canadian Championships in the past, and he's a very strong master player. But where SChess is concerned, he is a sleeper. I mean, the guy is really good. Like Bruce gives me more trouble than Levon Aronian. Okay?
Wow.
And
okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking. I mean, he is that kind of player. So yeah, I mean, there are some really talented SChess players. Probably amongst the top Americans, I've got to mention Josh Friedel and Jeffrey Zhang.
Yep.
They're both very good. and I've played against them, and like they've accused me of creating a variant that I'd be world champion at. And, I feel I was that they would be right if it wasn't for Bruce Harper, who's giving me headaches, right? So that's like weird, And again, Bruce and I, we were inspired by Capablanca chess.
Capablanca chess, yes.
And Kappa had a 10x10 board, which we didn't like, and we just adapted his pieces to an 8x8 board and renamed them. I didn't like the Marshall and Chancellor names and elephants and hawks. I mean, you need a raptor in a game of chess. Now, the funny part is I put my bishop on g4 a while ago because I had it in mind that I didn't want you chasing down my bishop. And look at what you've done. The bishop on g6, it wasn't bothering anybody. And nonetheless, you went after it with vim and Vic. Look at you. You win one game. Look at you, Justin. I'm shocked. You win one game by sacrificing on g7, and you think that that's all you got to do? That's all there is to it. Just go after his g7 square, and he'll be destroyed.
Okay, man.
I think so. Okay. Once again, let's. Last time it brought me no success. The diagonal a6. It wasn't kind to me, but I'm hoping for better. Okay, now,
Oh, well, two can play that game.
Oh boy, okay, but look at me go. I'm so pleased with myself. I've got King B7 as a bolt hole, and what else? Not too much else. just hanging out. I don't know. Is this a good move? Oh boy. I don't know if this is a good move, Justin. Oh boy. All right. Let's see.
Here he comes. Knight A5.
Well, you don't have to be a grandmaster to see that Knight C4 would be a fork. And a nasty fork at that.
I'm going to respect Knight C4.
Okay. I'm pleased that I got you to slow down
I feel like Knight A5 is the kind of move where you're like, white looks better because black's played B6 and white hasn't, and I've got to make B6 look useful. So Knight A5 because B6 defends A5, and then you're a move behind because you haven't played B3. You just switched that one on me.
How did that happen, right? Yeah, that's funny. All right. Okay, I've got a feeling that a big storm is brewing, and there's about to be a very serious clash taking place. In the meanwhile, let me try to make a few repairs to my.
We're all preparing, aren't we? Mm.
Yeah. I think we're mutually dreaming of a knight to c4 or a knight to c5 style invasion.
So what do I need to do here? How do I progress?
That's my question for you. Ooh, let me just add some more time.
Oh, thanks, yes.
No. I mean, what was it, Justin, that attracted you so strongly to Crazyhouse chess? I mean, you're a very good player in regular chess, of course, but something about Crazyhouse was more appealing.
Yeah, I found that, you know, the game became a lot more about being played outside the board than on the board, if that makes sense. Um, Meaning, you know, theory, study,
Yeah.
and that doesn't come naturally to me. The
Hmm.
propensity to study. So
Right.
the yeah, tactics was always my forte in chess. It'd be, you know, I'd come out of the opening with a horrible position and then just try to swindle my opponent. That was pretty common. So
Okay.
um,
So you shared that with Alekhine. Alekhine
oh,
had terrible openings, and
didn't
he thought that he would swindle his opponent tactically.
something like that. But
Yes.
Crazyhouse kind of lends itself to that strategy a bit more than regular chess does.
Fair
Um,
enough.
and you had a big interest in Bug House as well, but the problem was you didn't always have four players on, and it was very
Right.
rare. So
Partners. Yeah.
if you had two players, why not go for it? You can play Crazyhouse.
Exactly.
So
Exactly. I'm with you 100%. I love Bug House. I think it's great, but oftentimes you're missing a fourth. You got three really, really excited guys, and we're waiting for somebody who hasn't caught the bus. Uh-huh. So that move indicates to me that somehow I've survived the opening, yay, and I'm not going to get killed, yay, from some brutal attack. So Queen E3, just an improving kind of move, maybe setting up for Knight D5 on a good day. Um, Now, the problem is, as good as I'm very proud of my bishop on A6. It did its job. It stopped you from castling short. But now it really doesn't do anything per se, and I'm really afraid that one day you're going to just land a killer blow on D5 or C6 or something of that nature. So I'm gonna get out of the way. Oh, you moved already. Knight
yes,
back to E1. Whoa. Okay. Okay. Well, I've been waiting for
yes,
the
you
big
have.
the big G5. Okay. So I was that was prepared. That's been prepared for a long time.
Well, I thought that was what Bishop B7 was. It was to get
To
clear of
prepare.
any tactics and then play G5. So
Exactly.
makes
Exactly.
makes sense.
Okay.
All right, he's gonna Yasser me. He's gonna.
Go back. I'm just hanging in there waiting for my shot. Okay, here we go. Now it's all about. Oop. Uh, I put the pawn on G5 and then it didn't register, and it was like, whoops. Whoops. That should have registered. Okay, so wow. Okay. Hmm. So just a little confused on that one. I thought that somehow I kind of put the bishop on G6 aside. I think you must have been afraid about the diagonal, whereas I thought that bishop on G6 was a kind of a big pawn. You know.
Yeah, but you're getting F4 in one way or another, I think. So
Okay.
I feel E6 is more of a big pawn than G6.
Okay. Good. 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 Uh, I think we're both on the same kind of track. I guess I was suffering from the fact that when it was on H7, it really, really looked ugly. like, like that was not a very good looking animule over there. Knight B4. Okay, so you're gonna put something on C6, and there's gonna be a whole lot of munching going on.
Munch, 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 munch.
Right. Okay. So, I guess we start like this.
So you know what I'm thinking, right?
Yeah, I know you're going to sacrifice your queen. I mean, it was inevitable. I felt that it was just destiny. I'm fated. It's going to be on my epitaph. You know, Yasser was fated to to be victimized by queen sacrifices. Nice.
Should I do it?
Let me give you some time to
Yeah,
contemplate that.
I'm too busy yapping away. That's
No,
why.
it's good. It's fun yapping. The other thing I was thinking about the rook on g6 is that, you know, maybe on a good day where I go like bishop to f5, I actually defend something. Okay, well, let's see.
Oh, that one. Okay.
Probably not so good, but I had this idea that c3 could be a weak square. And look at that. It's not a weak square.
I kind of thought you might take the rook first and then play knight at
Uh,
e4.
I
But
actually, I think it was my intention to take the rook. I'm still kind of confused by why maybe I didn't do that. It was like I got so enamored with whatever it was I was thinking about that I forgot to do that. Yeah, of course. If I take the rook, it actually, you take a pawn, and then I go knight c3, knight e4. Yeah, I blundered. I have blundered, Justin. Okay. Wow.
but okay, there's some kind of symmetry which emerged in that your rook somehow got to g6 and is looking at c6, even though
Exactly.
when I played rook g3, I wasn't picturing your rook getting to g6.
Good point. Now funnily enough, I wanted to play c5. Does that make any sense? Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy.
Audience is talking about queen takes f4 back there, which was definitely on my mind. So sorry to disappoint everyone there, but yeah,
Oh,
it was
another one that got away. Another queen sacrifice.
I've been very disciplined in not playing the queen sacrifice, and I'm slowing down my approach on c6. Trying to do it without material loss, but. This was basically my big idea with knight f3 to e1 to d3 to b4, is to sort of have one extra piece.
Right.
Time will tell, though.
Yeah. And again, this rook on g6, I had high hopes that it would be there to rescue me. In case I needed to sacrifice. Move. That moves as a row. Okay. Row.
Well, okay. I got to do that one. Like I didn't get to play queen takes f4, so I've got to play queen takes c7. It's like
Mm-hmm. Uh-huh. Aha, with the rook. Exactly, with the rook. Oh boy. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. What is going on here? Okay, you're threatening mate, so I have to... I really regret now that I put my bishop on g4. I could have made one more defensive reaction before going for all of this. I didn't realize that I was going to have so many issues. Let's see. Probably I have messed this up badly. Oh boy. Boys.
So I copped some criticism from GSVC on the side, who's a very strong player himself. He said, we want to see a real JannLee queen sacrifice, not one where it looks like you've got a mating attack. Like I have to sack my queen for... I have to sack my queen for nothing. Yeah, tough crowd. I'm just going to recapture this one.
Okay, because I was thinking that you were going to play rook to b8 check there, by the way.
It looks nice, but it doesn't quite work in my eyes.
Okay.
I was actually looking at like a bishop at d5 check, luring your queen up to d5, then a rook at b8, king takes, knight a6, king a8, but unfortunately rook c8 runs into bishop takes c8 on g4.
Yes, I had seen that part. I had seen that I did have that defense. That is true.
So here...
Yes.
So here...
And again, it's really sad. This rook on g6, which was supposed to have played this wonderful, wonderful defensive role, is like anemic. Like the most impotent rook of all times. Like, oh my.
Well, like I say, it's not actually that bad. It just depends on your point of view. That's all.
True that. Okay,
I don't find the rook on g6. The rook on g6 is not such a bad outcome for me. So
the rook on g6 is really horrifying. Okay. I couldn't, of course, take the queen. That's just a mate on a8. So here I was thinking that I'm dreaming that I will one day play e2, and I think that it's just curses, not in the cards. It's not in the cards. Oh man, that move really, really is a nasty one.
yeah, I gotta go direct here. While I got a few moves up my sleeve and there's no force mate on my king, I gotta try to turn the screws.
That is a really, really, really nasty one.
Alright,
Wow.
That's the big check. Okay, king a1. Ah, I didn't see this. Okay.
It's not good. I'm afraid it's not good at all. I'm going to be way down a massive amount of material here.
Yeah, it's times like these where the pawns on f4, f3, bishop on g4, g3, rook on g6, and you go, there was a big plan there somewhere, and it...
I just so regret playing the move bishop g4, because it was a sort of like that move wasn't going anywhere, and I so regret that I didn't take the rook
Right.
on g3 when I should have. If I had done that, I'd reckon I was actually pretty okay.
All right. Can I wrap it up here?
Yeah.
I I should probably
Thanks.
just I'll do it this way. I was looking at queen takes a7, knight at b5, but I'll.
I think that that's good enough. Yeah. Nice. Good one. I do regret. I think that if I played take on g3,
Yeah,
it would have been favorable for me.
you maneuvered
Okay.
yourself to a position that favored you. Actually, I was disappointed when you got bishop b7, and it was like, yeah, okay,
Well,
the smoke is out of the opening is all gone,
well,
and mm,
I had with rook on g8. I had kind of held you, and I got out of the opening without having completely a lost position. And then with my bishop e7 and the other things that were taking place, it all looked like it was going swimmingly. And then the rook swung to c3, and everything just, yeah, well, it collapsed. It collapsed.
oh, okay, f3.
Yeah.
F3. Okay,
If
I
I'm
used
gonna
to play
cast,
this. I used to play this. And so
if I
why did I stop playing it?
if you remember, let me know. Um, if I'm going to castle queenside, I'm just going to get the Yugoslav attack thing going, and make sure that I'm not going to face knight g4 ever.
Fair enough. Okay.
Yeah. So I'm hoping you'll be compliant and just put your king on the king side so I know your address. And then, like, student body south, and away we go. Okay. So you do like putting the knight on c6. I was never really that sure that the knight is great there.
Um, no, but it's a good asset to confuse with, and right
Agreed.
now I need
Need the
uh,
confusing.
I need confusing I need confusing resources.
Exactly. Fair enough. And one of the great champions of all times, Anatoly Karpov, we would say that Karpov was Karpovian, and
Yes.
that he would play these Karpovian moves. And what we were meaning by that is he had this unique ability to literally put his pieces out of harm's way. So as soon as I make the move bishop on c4 to b3, this will be a Karpovian move,
Right.
protecting, with the bishop on b3. The likelihood is I'm not going to fall for a double attack. That guy's pretty solidly defended on b3. Okay. So now is the big question. What should I be doing or not doing here? So d5, knight a5. That looks decent enough for you. I don't think you have any real complaints about that.
Okay, so we're going open. Right.
So always the drawback of fianchettos in Crazyhouse is you have to be careful of a pawn infestation. In this position, if I had two pawns in hand, it would be automatic for me to play the move h6, hitting the bishop on g7, followed by pawn to g7. So whenever you fianchetto in Crazyhouse, just be aware that your opponent is always, and I mean always, eyeballing that potential. Knight h5. Okay, that's a prophylaxis move against my pawn invasion, because you can imagine if I play pawn h6 and pawn g7, the knight on g4 could potentially and would sacrifice itself for such pawns. Okay, so you're really wanting me to play this move. You got it.
d5. Okay, I'm not sure if I was wanting it.
Well, and the problem was if I castled, you could take everything on d4 and put a bishop on e5, and it's a pretty nasty tempo. So, ooh, hey up. That is a surprise move for sure. What am I missing? Bishop f2. You will sacrifice, of course, but you're only getting one. You're only getting one.
How did you predict that?
But one minor is not a lot for the queen.
Well, no, GSVC has requested a proper JannLee sacrifice. So bishop f2, bishop f2, queen takes f2.
Crowd. Oh.
Bishop f2, queen takes f2 is 100% classified as a JannLee queen sacrifice, which is uncalled for. Not necessarily entirely bad, but down on material and no immediate winning consequence other than positionally trying to outplay your opponent a queen down for a minor piece after that.
Okay,
So
well,
bishop f2, really bishop f2, queen takes f2 is automatic. It's like it's like in poker. It's like if he bets, I'm going to call no matter what. I'm going to call.
You're calling,
right?
Okay.
So bishop f2, I'm calling. I'm playing queen takes f2.
Got it. But I'm just saying, I'm still questioning if it's justified or not. Well,
but what are your other options? Yeah, that's
well,
the thing.
g3, knight g3, knight g3. You would put the pawn on f4.
Yes.
Then I would move my bishop, and I'd recapture with a pawn on g3. Now, the knight on h5 is actually protecting your king. So the trade of the knight on h5 for the knight on e2 does have a sense to me.
Well, to me, queen h4 has probably been a move in the making about 3 or 4 moves ago. In that when you've played f3, I've said if I get a chance, I'm going to unchess the position.
Okay. Fair enough.
Unchess meaning,
try to do this.
never would there be knight takes g3 in chess, So
right. So this is what I was talking about in terms of trading the knight on e2 for the knight on h5, and I was hoping that this trade would actually benefit me. In the sense that I thought you were going to take on g3, and I was going to recapture with the bishop. Now you can't take on g3 at all. You're just going to have to keep sacrificing, because yes, exactly. I don't think you had a choice there, but I could be wrong.
I'm not minding my lack of choice at the moment.
Well, okay, you got a lot of pawns, no question about that. But now, in the immortal words of Jeremy Silman,
my turn.
Okay, where's my mate?
Where's your mate?
Knight f5, knight h6, knight f5, knight h6. Wow. Okay. I suspect I have more than what I wanted that I'm willing to do at the moment, but one more defensive move.
Can I make a comment? That's very Karpovian of you.
Well, thank you very much.
The king is an important piece to protect in advance.
Yeah, I really, really, really want to tuck my king in against you. I've been having some pretty bad days, bad moments too. But now I need some pawns. I've been suffering from a lack of pawns in a number of games.
It's like a vitamin deficiency. You're
Yes,
you're
exactly.
deficient on pawns.
Right, exactly. Like, hey, dude, where's my pawns? But okay, and this gives you the turn, and I'm kind of thinking about knight f3. Of course, I'm expecting that if I played such a move as a queen sacrifice is an automatic. So, okay, fair enough. I saw that. Now is the question. Knight f5, queen f2, knight h6, king over. I need pawns.
Yes, but you have a pawn deficiency.
I do. Yeah. Okay. I'll try to get the deficiency back.
Yeah, so my most common deficiency is a queen deficiency.
Gee, I wonder why. I can't believe it.
I just remember I used to play Bughouse. One of my good friends is Bugzilla. He's on Lee Chess as well.
Bugzilla.
And we used to play a ton of. He's like a brother I never had, and we're very close. He's got 2 kids as well, but we used to like lose a game horribly because he just sacrificed too much, and it's, man, like just you gotta like slow down on the sacks, just slow down the sacks. He's like, okay, next game I'll slow down on the sacks, and then you're like 5 moves in, and he's already sacking the house, and then a comment comes back, says he made me do it.
I had no choice.
And
it wasn't my intention, but I really had no choice.
And I feel I'm guilty of the same excuse when it comes to queen sacks in Crazyhouse. People say, why you sack your queen? I say, well, he made me do it. It wasn't my fault. It wasn't my fault.
Karma. Karmic. I couldn't avoid it. There. Oh, okay. Holy smokes. My turn? Can I do something, please? Okay. I'm getting confused. What did I sacrifice? What's going on? What have I sacrificed? Okay, there. What did I do?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow. Ooh, okay.
I was What did I do? I won a piece for a couple of pawns, and I played knight g2 takes e3. Okay. It's coming back to the old whose king is safer routine. At the moment, your bishop on g7 is looking good. It's nicely protecting important
stuff.
Yeah. Important stuff is being
protected. when commentary fails, stuff. What's happening? Stuff is happening.
Stuff has happened. Okay. So I'm dreaming about things like, rook h2 and making tempi. Oof, oof, oof. Okay, so far so good. And let's see what's going on here. I could have played Queen E3, D4, Queen G5. Things like that were kind of getting interesting as well.
Okay. And unfortunately, I can't play a queen takes c3, which would be a lovely queen sacrifice, because queen takes h7. Queen takes h7 is getting in my way. He crushed my dreams. Crushed my dreams.
Yeah, that would be an egregious queen sacrifice. I mean, that is for sure. That would have been taking things a little bit too far. Okay, so here I have dreams of knight e7 check, and I don't know, rook h7. That would be pretty good if I could get that stuff in. Whoa! Really?
Have I missed something?
Maybe. I thought check and check was really too much to handle. Maybe I'm just dead wrong. Probably I'm just dead wrong. Wow. That's disappointing. That is disappointing. So checks just don't work? Wow.
I like a comment from Blunderman1 says, John has been trying to sack his queen this whole game without success. Yeah, that pretty fairly wraps it up. I'm going to give you some more time, yes?
Okay, thanks. I was thinking about knight e7 check, king h8, rook h7, queen h5, and I thought I would get in the pawn to g6. And the weird part is I do everything I just described, and then I come to a dead end.
Yeah, it's just a move short.
Exactly. So
bugger. I missed this move.
I had to rein in my horns this away.
Okay. Oh, if you don't mind a bit more time, would
oh, please, gosh, yeah. I apologize. Yeah, that's of course. Right. Well, apologies.
No.
We get caught up in our ideas, and we forget the time. Just
Well, I have to return in kind. You put a knight on the board, and I have to put one on as well.
I see. That's what it's all about, huh? Oh boy. Okay. Oh boy. Okay, so here, I mean, the sacrifices just simply have to work, but because it feels like my king is just so safe.
Oh, okay. Am I in trouble here?
I hope so.
Well, I don't.
Well, also, I think the audience can appreciate now why I played the move King B1 way back when. A Queen A1 check and a Bishop E3 check would be really disruptive. So the fact that that doesn't exist in this position, I think, is very meaningful. It allowed me to do what I'm doing. So of course I wanted to put a bishop on f6. Let me see. What do I... Jan, I think I got you by the short and curlies here. I just want to make sure... I want to make sure that you're not despicably escaping my wrath.
That's how you're going about it.
Well, again, I'm just like praising the gods for my safe king. I'm looking at my king and going, yeah, it's going to take you like 3-4 moves to really make a threat. Not that you're going to make a threat. There's no question. I'm waiting for you to do your darndest as far as that is concerned. Now, bishop h6 it feels like it's an automatic, but maybe I have better. It does feel like an automatic, though. Knight h5. Knight h5 is a nasty move too. Lots of nasty moves here.
Yeah, no, this game didn't go the way I thought it would. I was very happy with the opening, and
then something went wrong.
It went a bit south. Yeah, I underestimated the strength of pawn at h6. In a way, I'm kind of regretting recapturing your queen on g1. Maybe I should have taken your knight on f4.
Well, okay, in for a penny, in for a pound. That was I wanted to do it right away, and probably if I had no time, I would have played bishop h6 at once. It just looked like queen g5 had something about it. Knight h5. These were very attractive moves. Rook g1, also attractive because of knight e7 checking ideas.
Yeah, I'm feeling pretty busted here.
I don't know. I played you so often. In the words of Yogi Berra, it ain't over till it's over. Not where Jana's concerned. Okay, there you're attacking my rook. Now, I don't know if that's like a big deal. It probably isn't a big deal, but you are attacking my rook. So, and this move does have a nasty threat to it too. Whoa. Okay. Okay. Oh boy.
So to the viewers, Yasser has just what he wants here. He's got a safe king, and he can just grind, and it's his turn. So this has not gone my way
at all.
One bit.
No, it really has not. Sorry about that. Snicker. I'm not sorry at all. In fact, I'm super happy. Okay. Strangely enough, my rook feels like it's in the way.
So, okay, ZH is saying, you've got to tell me to play the candidates of the Crazyhouse World Championship. He says we need him in it, and as finalist last time, he needs to be there. So that's from the viewers, because I've said that I'm not going to be playing this year, and just doing the organization. But
Mm-hmm.
that's a comment from the sidelines. But Yasser's busy trying to finish this game, so
I sure am. It's not that
let's
easy. It's not
let's
that
allow him to
easy.
do that.
What do I want to do most? I guess I want to mate you on H7 the most.
Mm. Queen at H1. Okay. Queen at H1.
Weird move. A little bit sensitive towards the back rank. Don't ask me why.
It's very, very safe and sound.
Let's put it that way. Yeah, I think so. Okay. So, safe and sound, huh?
Yes.
Yes. Let's see how safe and sound it is. Mm-hmm. And so that's Lido. Okay. Let's get this guy in. Where am I getting this guy in? Probably here. At least it's defended there. So.
Uh-oh.
Although you did force me to put a diagonal guy on the board. Do I want? I'm not sure what I want. Oh, you have now a bishop in your hand. Okay, I see. You needed the bishop for the defense. Makes sense. Okay.
This is true.
Right. Makes sense. The bishop for defense.
And we're in the same problem now.
Exactly. Now you need a bishop for your defense. I don't think you're gonna get it. Just oh boy. And I think we all know these attacks where you put pawns on h6 and you just keep hitting whatever stands on g7 and in the way. Okay. Well, I'm a greedy bugger. So I'm just going to take that. Say thanks. Are you kidding me?
That was not the move I expected from you.
First of all, I didn't even see that it was possible. You're moving each one. I mean, it's not a question of, I just didn't even see it was possible. It just never even crossed my mind at all. Oh my word, that was horrifying. How could I have done that? Oh my word, that was where did that come from? I can't believe that was so bad from me. Oh geez. That was probably my worst move of the day. Holy smokes, that was bad. And that's the other thing too about Crazyhouse. you lose concentration for just a fraction of a second.
Yeah.
And it's sort of like your opponent's right back into the game, and you feel like a complete nitwit. Ooh, man, that was so bad. Okay. Can I rescue my incompetence? What was I thinking? Oh, I wasn't thinking. That was bad.
And if you noticed, there was one or two games, Yasser, where maybe you thought you were getting baited easily by me, and I was still saying I have to not be complacent.
Yeah.
And it's because I've lost my fair share of games through complacency.
I think that this is an excellent example of complacency. It's like, oh my gosh, H1 equals queen. Oh my word. With the knight on H5, any move, king moves would have been just fine. But greed, man's noblest emotion. Okay, I do fortunately still have some threats. Yay.
Indeed. Okay. I'm gonna take you on. I have to play materialistically here, or else I could put a queen on the board and maybe I'm safe. But I think inevitably that extra rook in your hand is too valuable. Yeah,
worth a lot.
So I've got to go gung ho with the king.
Okay, fair enough. I can relate. Been there, done that. Oh, that's a holy smokes move. For some reason, blindness, I saw king G5 only. That's not good from me. That's not good at all. Oh boy.
Okay, so bishop on e2.
My goodness. I think I've really squandered it here. Wow.
Well, the annoying thing is your king's still very safe.
It's been that way.
I got a lot of work to do.
I was very proud of myself a long time ago, but wow. Okay.
It's at this point where I'm feeling every pawn counts, actually. Well, because you had a much more crushing position before, you probably feel it could be over, but I think there's still plenty to play for in the position, and
oh gosh, yes,
it's just a whole different dynamic now again.
Right. Wow. My goodness, have I messed this up or what? Wow. Not happy here at all. Okay. So I have several ideas. One is to play a pawn to g2. I was thinking about can I take... Another was to play rook to h1, queen g2, rook h3, and bishop takes g4. But I'm a little bit afraid that I might be the one to suffer a mate in the end there.
And it's actually this sort of position which I think is critical here, which is why I didn't allow e takes f8 to capture my rook and just be safe, because if you get another rook, I'm like
Yes.
5 steps further from getting in on your back rank. Whereas here, you've got to think about whether you want to defend with the rook on d1 or attack with it.
Yes.
So
Yes.
pawn to
Exactly.
g7. This was actually suggested by a number of viewers. Pawn to
No,
g7.
really.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Okay. So I'm. I've got some support. Ooh.
Well, let's say you've got other people thinking the same way you do, but pawn to g7 is well, you don't have a pawn to put on b3 now, but
Oh man, I think I
because
regret.
because the knight at a3 is very direct now, this could turn things quite quickly.
Oh my, no, that's a blunder then. Oh, ooh, 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 ooh. Oh boy, now I'm in trouble. I, it took a lot to lose this game. I gotta have to be honest about that. It really did. Oof,
Now
oof,
I can't be complacent here. I have to work this out. Um,
oof. Did I mess that up? Mm.
all right, we'll go into the think tank here. We'll just if I'm not calculating mate, I'm not going to play it.
Mm.
All right, I think it's there.
Wow. Too many pieces, I'm afraid. Check, check, check. Ooh, check. You've got a rook in the hand. Wow. Okay, well, you're threatening. Yeah, my mistake. I think G7 was okay. I think I should have first included knight G4 though. Knight takes G4.
Yeah, but
Bishop takes.
then I can play something on g8 to stop the queen.
Ah, good point. Sorry, you're right. That is a great point.
I think it's queen takes d2, which should have been king a1, and that was that basically. But
Sorry, say that again.
oh well, way back when I played knight at d2 and you allowed h1 queen. I think if you play king a1, then
Yes,
that's
of
game
course,
over. That's game over
of
right there.
course. Yeah, no, that was egregious. No question there. That was really, really, really bad. Ooh, that was egregiously bad.
But I think it is a clear demonstration on how quickly tides can turn.
For sure.
When seemingly it shouldn't really.
Yeah, that was really remarkable. That was really, really remarkable. Oh my goodness. Mm.
Okay, again, let's not be complacent. Um, it's got to be mate here, but
Yeah, I think I see it too.
I got to get it right.
Ooh.
Uh-huh.
So I'm hoping you go knight in hand to a3, and that would mess
Yeah,
you up after king
that would mess
b2.
me up. Yep, that would mess me
After
up.
after king b2. So that would be like egregious.
So here, yeah, here I can still stuff this up. I'm very much
Yeah.
aware of that.
afraid. Okay. Wow. That's you're being fancy here.
Well, I don't see a clear finish, so I need the material.
I thought that you had a little bit simpler with bishop a6 and knight f4 check. I saw this knight f4.
The king can go to c3 and b4 after c4.
Well, the queen on a1 means a discovered.
Right, yeah, that possibly was simpler.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, but that moment has passed, so...
Yes, and don't blow it. Still, there are mistakes to be made. I think it's... Okay, it's always good to have more material in hand. I don't blame you for that move. That looks like a very good move. I'm still reeling from h1 equals queen check. And queen takes h5. The knight on h5 was such a beautiful checkmating piece. Rats. But to get back to what you were saying, yeah, that if we could ever have an S chess tournament, that would be like a dream come true. When Bruce Harper and I were making the variations and making the S chess kits, we dreamed that we would have a tournament one day that we would both play in.
Nice, of course you do. Of course you do.
Yeah, and make it to the finals together or something. It was like, okay, this looks. Oh!
If not for rook at a4, then yeah.
Bravo! That's sweet. I saw knight to c2, and I thought, okay, you're weaving a nice mating net. The rook a4. Justin, let's play one more, and then I do have to. Unfortunately, as I told you at the start, I have my taxes to do, and you enabled me to be a procrastinate. Pardon me. And I really do appreciate your helping me. But unfortunately, eventually I gotta face the music.
That's right.
That was a terrible blow. Knight pawn equals queen. How did you even survive that? Because I played queen h1 with the idea of winning a pawn.
Yeah, and I actually think you. After queen takes h5, white's still fine, but I think you were reeling so hard, you very quickly played queen at h6, and had forgotten that you're giving away a queen for a pawn, effectively.
Mm-hmm.
And then before you know it, I had two queens in hand, and I think you actually had you not been so affected by the first blunder, then you wouldn't have lost even more after that. So I felt that's what happened there.
Ooh, well, we could also chalk that up to like a spin cycle. It's like, that was just so bad. Okay, one game I got crushed. Another game I really felt that I was in the game.
Yeah, and
now let's see if I who's right.
Yeah, to put it eloquently, yeah. So here I'm out of book, I should probably know more than this, but when you play bishop at g4, bishop at g6, already there I'm out of book, and I think a lot of players would know much further than I do. So it's from here I'm exploring, but this is how I like to play. Like I'm gonna go with what I did before. That made sense.
And for me, it was sort of like this. It was really off-putting to be on the back foot. It was like the bishop went to h7, and I was, in the words of somebody, getting stuffed. It felt like I was getting stuffed anyway, and like that's not a really great feeling to have.
No, it's not.
Playing Crazyhouse, so I'm gonna.
You're gonna switch it up. Switch it up.
Switch it.
Okay. So we're creating again here.
So we're back to creating something wonderful. So I have a dream that one day my beautiful b6 and king coming to b7 will actually work. It would be nice.
All right. We'll play a sensible game this time. We'll charter into dangerous territory and play chess-like moves with a chess-like structure.
Okay.
It could work out very badly for me.
Well,
it has before.
I'll need to improve my play. I can tell you that. Okay. So I'm just thinking when I should put a bishop on. Should it go to the g6 square, where it'd be nice and defensive and cover a lot of key points on the king side? Or should it go to g4, where it will at least put some pressure on the knight and the d4 pawn? Gotcha thinking, huh?
Yeah, I'm trying to unchess the position, like I've said before.
See, this is kind of what the computer does to me. I play a move like b6, and I would have expected the human response to be bishop a3, and the computer ignores my threat completely. like what do you think you're doing with this move b6? I'm attacking your bishop. No, nobody believes you.
That's exactly the idea.
Yeah. Like that's just not that's not severe enough. Oops, you need some time here.
No, thanks. I shouldn't have to think this long, but I'm trying to create something, but it's not quite working for me.
Beautiful piece of art. Art. That was what my friend, chess grandmaster Edward Gufeld would say. Art, art, art. You must be artist. Art, very hard to. He was a grandmaster from the Ukraine. Many time women's Olympic team coach.
Right.
Yeah. Art. Well, I don't see knockout.
No, there's definitely no knockout, but
maybe it's there, but don't see it myself.
An entire sleeve is donated $20. Amazing.
Thank you for the support. And as Jan mentioned at the top of our stream, which was hours ago, all the donations are going to go to the World Crazy Championship.
Yes, Crazyhouse World Championship. That's right.
Thank you. Easy for you.
Easy for me to say. Yeah.
Look at that. Bishop takes you dog. There's no other way of putting it. You dog. I mean, all you had to do was just play ball, but no.
You're actually gonna. All right. I wanted to. That's what I was trying to avoid.
Well, now you got me scared, and hunting me down over on the queen side over there. You got me all frightened. So this was what you were contemplating for Bishop takes b6. I must say that wasn't high on my list there. I was speculating on what you were thinking about. I thought you were thinking about knight b5 and stuff.
Alright, speaking of knight b5 and stuff.
Exactly. And I was wondering, really, really, how serious is this? Could it really be that serious?
If I let you know that I didn't see bishop at g4, then clearly that's not where my attention was directed. So what follows from here is not necessarily part of a plan. This is adapting to an oversight.
Oops. We could put it that way, right? Adapting to an oversight. Okay. So here, the reason I put the knight on the board there is I'm thinking that I'm going to give up my queen, and I will get a check.
Are you saying you're going to give up your queen before me?
Yes. Well, if you look at our score, it's worked out really well for you when that happens. Unfortunately for me, it's worked out very well for you. I wanted to take your knight.
Well, I have to take this way, or else g2 is too big of a problem.
And now, for my next trick. I'm going to give you check, I believe. I was thinking the alternative for me was bishop a6. I was thinking that was a very nice alternative for me.
Yeah, I didn't get what I wanted to get out of the opening. This is a Yasser kind of position.
Yeah, baby. Well, let's do it.
Here he comes. Okay.
I've been dreaming of such a counter for some time. Although one must ask, what is my rook doing on g8?
Well, at least we got you there before all this happened.
Right. What is my rook doing?
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm kind of regretting that my bishop isn't on a6, but okay. If I take that, it's... Oh, no, I can't take it. There's a mate on e7.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't take that one. No.
Yeah, the mate on e7 is... well, that would have been costly. Okay, of course, my intentions are as easy as putting a pawn on h3, and that was a good move just to distract me a bit.
So I wanted to remove f5 as a critical supporter of h3.
Yep. I agree. Although, at the end of the day, you know what's going to happen is I'm going to have a really, really, really safe king.
No, stop talking like that. That's...
I'm warning you. I'll have a safe king. It doesn't do me any good, but you should be ashamed. Wow. Okay.
So never in chess do you hear, now you need to triple your bishops on this diagonal.
Right. That's not that's not so easily said. Bishop d8. Wow. Kind of cool. Are you planning to take him, put a pawn on f6? I'm guessing that's what you want to do. It looks a little bit weird to put all your bishops like that on one basket, but maybe. Well,
it's like you got to play the hand you're dealt, and I pull my cards off the table, and I've got two bishops on c7 and c5, so I'm kind of committed to putting another one on that color.
Exactly. Now here it's sort of like I'm just dreaming of, putting a pawn on h3. The moment I get a pawn on h3, it just feels like the rest of the game will be easy to play.
The game will play itself, so to speak.
Indeed it will. So I've got ideas like even queen takes c7, bishop takes c7, bishop to h3, that type of a idea. Ooh, wow. Okay, so you want to do that, and I want to do that.
I'll add more time there, if you don't mind adding some time.
Of course. Yeah. Sorry, Jan.
That's right.
I just get to viewing the position, and I just I tune out the rest. Let's see. You take, I take. That's good. And then I get that, and then you get that. I think that's good. Okay, let's go for it.
Oh, bishop a6. Okay, so you're gonna undermine.
Well, I'm thinking that the knight on e2 in certain lines might need defense, but I'm really thinking that I just need diagonals, and rook takes d8 will get me a couple of diagonalers. Then I can have some fun with h3 square.
Right.
Here, it feels like the opening went wrong for you. I'm not saying it's
No, it
completely
did. It
dead.
did. It went wrong for me. No, it did.
Yeah,
Let's be clear
it
about
just
that.
feels it feels really like I'm having the fun here.
My plan is switching every 2 moves. That's how I know my opening didn't go right.
Usually, that's a sign of something wrong, right? Gone wrong. Let's see. Do I want the pawn? Ooh, it's just so tempting to take the bishop, though. Boy. Okay. It was really tempting to take the bishop, I have to say.
Sure.
Now, I have to watch out for becoming too complacent again. Just because this
Oh,
feels.
you're learning your lesson. It sounds like.
Boy, that h1 equals queen will go down in infamy. Oh, that was so egregious.
Yeah, I don't know if I got what I was aiming to achieve with that move. Hmm.
Well, here my rook on g8, shockingly enough, can actually be useful.
Yeah, and to that effect, I think I've just helped you.
But hey, what the heck, right? Together, you and I, we can beat the hell out of this guy. I mean, if we work as a team, Justin, you will go down in flames, man. I was playing with Levon, and he had his second, a grandmaster from Armenia. We were at some Sinkville Cup, and we were playing Bug House together. And he started complaining about his partner, and he says, "I don't understand. I'm playing alone. I'm playing alone." He kept crying, and I said to Levon's partner, I said, together, the three of us, we can really kill Levon. It was like, "I'm playing alone," kept crying. Levon, "I play alone." I just thought that was so funny. I hadn't heard that before. I play alone. Oops. Only because I'm enjoying myself, I'm going to give you another 3 minutes. Oh boy. Is this another sacrifice of
Yeah, this is a desperation sacrifice. It's probably not even a JannLee sacrifice anymore.
This is something like walking the plank and wrecking. Oh, you dirty rat. You had a move. Oh, I thought, I was going to play h3 and queen c7. I was already, warming up my victory speech. And look what you have done. Wow. Okay. Nonetheless.
So to put things in perspective, you're still up a whole queen for a pawn, which is a considerable advantage.
Well, if you're going to put it into that kind of a perspective, I'm suddenly encouraged to continue the game. Let me take that. Okay. And we kind of know what's coming, don't we? Hopefully moves like bishop h6 would just be wasted. So I don't expect we'll see a move like that.
So white has problems.
Issues.
White has problems.
Correct. So his problem, everybody, is when he plays bishop f1, don't take the rook. You can contemplate ideas like e2, pawn to e2, or bishop to e4, or queen to e4. But if you take the rook and you allow his bishop then to take on g2, then you're really helping your opponent.
Yeah.
So here, my threat of bishop e4 and queen to e4 is what's giving Justin pause.
Yeah, I don't have a good defense here. This is the towel can be thrown in here for the exact reasons you've said.
Where's the trainer?
I'm gonna throw the towel in. Particularly like knight at e1, even queen at f1 is very strong. So I don't have a good square to put a knight. I can't put on e3 or h4, and then bishop at f1 is met by pawn at e2. So yeah, that the opening went all wrong for me, and then
it did. Yeah. Something really, there and. Well, okay. As always, Justin. I mean, it's fun playing with you, and we have some great games. But you got the best of me there because, if you don't mind me saying, I feel like I haven't played enough. I think Crazyhouse is a game that you really need to exercise regularly.
Yes.
And. It's been a while for me to play, and I feel that 2-3 more matches like this, and then like, hey, I'm ready to brawl. Tell us a little bit more about the upcoming World Championship.
Yeah, so we've got a 3+2 time control for the Crazyhouse World Championship, which is the same as what it was in 2018.
Okay.
And it was a double elimination format back then as well, and that was received very well. We had I think what we're trying to do is capture the best of what happened in that event, and there were though some areas where we can improve. So, for example, we had there was the odd player that was suspected or accused of cheating, and then in some ways that was kind of handled, probably with the right decision in terms of getting to the right answer, but then, we could have maybe added a bit more people element to it to, prevent some of the fallout, because, I think some people just got banned or removed, like, suddenly without notice, and then people are like, how's that happened? And then, he's got no right to appeal, and like, how did you do it? And it's like, well, we can't tell you how because we can't reveal the method, or else we're making better cheats of everyone. So it just looked very, you're probably getting a right answer, but you're upsetting a lot of people. And then I think we had, and this was only our second World Championship, and it's just still an evolving tournament. So, there were a few what we call wild card entries that went into the candidates round, and it was a bit like, a whole lot of strong players were like, yeah, this player definitely should play, and because he's been around, and of course he's that quality. But then, others are saying, well, hang on, I've got to fight my way through this rigorous double elimination knockout, and so this year it's like, no wild cards. We want to lay down some very clear rules at the start, and you can still change rules, but potentially you need like a unanimous vote from all contending players still there. So it would have to be a change that makes sense to all players with good reason, that everyone says, yeah, we had an oversight on that rule or something like that. So there was a lot that was done really well from 2018, and that was Fishy Vishy who arranged it and also funded it himself. So I'm coming in here as well, and I've he's the co-organizer for this event, but I'm trying to take away the financial pressure that was there for him before, and also add another perspective with people, and work with the
Nice.
community. I suppose that's my role, I suppose.
And and will you be first of all? When do the matches begin?
Yes, so I mean I need to lay out a timeline, but we're trying to start before the end of March. So
Before the end of
so
March.
so sign off is going to be finished by 15th March. I've been saying it last weekend, but I do need to really do it this weekend to put another kind of reminder out there to all past participants from the last 3 years to say, hey, in case you've been under a rock, this thing's happening. You've got a week.
Right.
Just say I'm
Right.
in, and just to lay out timeline and rules and things like that. So even a very thorough, if someone's suspected of cheating, how we're going to go about that. And I think it'll be private notification first to the players, because we've found that in some cases, when a player knows they're caught, they just kind of go quietly. But if you just ban them and from leechess altogether and take away all their rights, they got nothing to lose. So they actually put up a bigger fight, and you put them in a tough position, and that's happened a few times already. So there's this kind of being a bit soft with the people about it as well, and laying out how to do and a right to appeal and how that would work, and not just using machine methods, but possibly a panel of Crazyhouse experts that have been knowing what a cheat looks like for
So
10 or 15 years, and that.
so now that you mention it, is there an appeals committee?
Yeah, it'd work something like that, and I'd need to kind of frame that, how that works, because I mean here we're still in new territory. But yeah, we'd have to have some kind of appeals method, because I think that was missing last time, and the machines can get it wrong. Um,
Right.
you know,
Right.
potential also today, like how much theory is studied. Like someone could just go through the whole way, matching Stockfish's line if it's not that deep,
Right.
all the way to mate. And so,
Right.
so
And you
just
don't want to ban the player when it's like, actually, as you just said, that it's a theoretical line that the guy just
correct,
happens to know
correct.
inside and out.
And he's just
Right.
smashed it out because he's like, yeah,
Right.
I looked at that last week, and you know,
I got it.
so yeah, that's why I think that an appeals committee is a good idea to chuck in. It was
Have
different. It was different before when the engine use wasn't as high, and we got to be
right.
aware of it now. Um,
Okay.
yeah,
And like you say, it's a double elimination. It'll start in March, but then it actually continues for quite a number of months.
correct. So looking at the entries, we'd probably have, I would say, 256 would be the biggest bracket we would have. It might be more like 128. It depends
Okay.
where we fall with the registrations in the last week. But the way double elimination works is basically first round is like a regular knockout round, but after the first round you'd have like a group A and a group B, where the group A is the invincible group that hasn't been beaten yet, and
Undefeated
group
group.
B
Yeah.
have lost one, and then
Yeah.
group B plays against themselves, group A plays against themselves, and it kind of just keeps collapsing until
Right.
if you're in group B and you lose, you're out. But if you're in
Right.
group B, you generally have to fight a lot harder for the rest of the event because you're playing more matches
Yeah. An
just to stay in it.
elimination is done. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's nice because in the first year I think a lot of people lost 6-4 in like a 10-game match,
Ooh.
and it's like playing one set of tennis and losing one break, and that was it, and you had some really good favorites that got knocked out.
Right.
Whereas here, if you lose 2 games 6-4, then yeah, you were close,
Matches.
but you got
Yeah.
pipped out twice. So
Right. Your
you,
opponents would maybe be more deserving. Yeah.
yeah. But if you're deserving to make it, you might lose once and still go all the way to the
Yeah.
end, and then you've certainly earned your spot. So it's really robust. I think the final 12. Well, I've also said 12, not 8, because the breadth and depth of talent this year is that wide that you'd be knocking out favorites by going straight to 8, whereas with 12 you'd have a good set.
And when does the world champion enter the fray?
Well, that's basically the winner of the round robin of the candidates. They will have the right to play the world champion, and that'll
So it
actually
will be a challenger, essentially.
yes, challenger. So yeah, world champion doesn't play through the double elimination. No, he's just final boss sitting there at the end.
Right.
So that's Opper Wesen, and he was a champion from 2 years ago. He also won the 1 minute event just in the year gone, 2019. So we didn't have a 3+2 in 2019. It just kind of didn't happen. But someone did a 1 minute time limit Crazyhouse World Championship, and so he's won both time controls, and he's beaten me as finalist in both of those. So it's like a repeated result, and he definitely deserves it. So yeah, I guess also me not playing this year, it's not like I'm stepping straight off the champions podium. Like for the last 2 years, we've had Opper Wesen, and there's a change in the guard there, and he's fine to represent the quality of play. So it'd be different, I think, if I just kind of went from, hey guys, I'm not playing anymore, but I'm not defending a title. Like it's better that it's been fought for already, and it has been won.
And will you be streaming?
Yeah,
Justin?
definitely. So where possible, we'll try to stream. Would love you to join in if you ever have time and the stars align.
Right. You know what that's all about, of course. For me, I just have this professional schedule. It's essentially coming up March 15th. I'll go to St. Louis. March 17th, the Candidates tournament in Russia starts. You may have read that Timur Rajabov surprisingly stepped out instead. Maxime Vichard-Legrave, MBL, of France, to take his place. Coronavirus seems to play a role in that decision by Timur. Anyway, I'm there for St. Louis to do comments on the candidates. It should be a lot of fun. It will be definitely an interesting event for sure, maybe the most interesting event up to the World Championship match. Then the U.S. Championship. So I'm back after the U.S. Championships, basically the final week of April. I do some of the Grand Chess Tour commentaries, like the Sinkfield Cup and the events in Croatia and France. So there's the Grand Chess Tour, and there's, this Candidates and U.S. Championships. But if those things don't conflict with your streaming for the World Championship Crazyhouse, well, drop me a line, and I'll endeavor to join with you.
Oh, that'd be great. That'd be amazing. And just so you know, I mean, our candidates round will probably only start in the back half of the year because it'll take that long to get through the double elimination knockout, particularly with people all around the world, and people have to arrange a time that suits, and then it falls over, or someone wants to go on holidays. So we'll even have rules on that, on how many weeks you can apply for to take off and things like that, so it doesn't completely hold up the event. But yeah, that'd be amazing, because I mean, for the players here in the event as well, if they can have you commentate a match, that's gold. Like, it's to have your name up in lights, and Yasser on the side commentating. It's very special.
No, for me, they've got to teach me. I got to learn. You can see. I mean, I'm getting crushed by you. I need to improve my game. So no, definitely, figure me in. And it's always just a question of the schedule. And if my professional schedule is not in conflict, it usually means that I'm available. Now I have to, of course, clear it with my social agent.
Yes, that's the other significant force on your time.
Yeah, significant force. Domestic tranquility, as we've discussed, is very important. But all other things being equal, and like harmonic convergence, the stars align. I would love to be a participant as a streamer.
Great. Okay. Well,
Yeah.
like I said before as well, we'll look at S-chess and we'll assess the viability of a tournament
Sure.
there. And yeah, please let Bruce know as well if it happens and all this, and how to
Yeah,
get
no.
online and like that'd be wonderful for the community as well, because I mean you'd be bringing in the likes of yourself and Bruce,
Yeah. Well,
original creators and strongest players in the game.
I think Josh Friedel, sorry, not Frederick Friedel,
Not
but
for
Josh
yeah.
Friedel, Alejandro Ramirez, Levon Aronian, Jeffrey Zhang. I'll get those guys to
Yeah,
sign
wow.
up and join, and well, then it will be a really really a fun, tough event, and that's exciting. But in the meanwhile, the Crazyhouse World Championship will be something I really look forward to as well.
All right. Okay. Well, as soon as we know more on S-chess, if there's something brewing, I will keep you posted. And of course,
Thank you.
respect that you've got your professional schedule, so we'll try to
For
make
sure.
it work around that as well.
Right.
So it's all very exploratory at this stage, but
Right.
yeah, I mean, happy to use my channel as a platform to bring it to the masses and see where we go with it.
Exactly.
It's
And
exciting.
just on that note, as we get ready to sign off, and really got to get the taxes. Thank you, everybody, for joining us, and support Justin. Subscribe to his channel, donate, tell your friends where you hang out and what you've been up to, and we'll see you next time.
Yeah, no, phenomenal support. Thank you for all the donations that have come through today and all the subscriptions. It's been really
Sure.
lovely. I mean, for me as well, just to try to get back to some streaming after just thinking about next diaper. It's good to think about next move for a change.
My attorney, Larry Heder, he explained to me that he went to law school, and he had this great idea that he's going to be a lawyer, he's going to change the law and change the world. And then the first baby came along, and he said, "Dear Lord, all I'm asking for is a potty trained kid." I mean, I'm not changing the world. I just want a potty trained kid, and I'll be happy.
Yeah. No, in response to that, I say two things. One is, and I've heard it said before, it's like when you become a parent, your ideals go out the window. And they don't have to, but sometimes reality just forces your hand.
Exactly.
And the second one I feel is you become a parent first, and everything else is a distant second, third, fourth, fifth, and it's like you kind of join this this unspoken league where suddenly you understand what every other parent's going through, and it's all the same shit, and you
right.
So
Right. I absolutely wholeheartedly concur. And it's sort of like my father's Arabic, my mother's British. Unfortunately, my family divorced when I was like 9 years old. But
right.
Being raised in, let's say, an Arabic British household, the first and most important thing in the Arabic family is family. Yeah, that comes before everything else. And the second most important thing, and it's really a close second, is family. And the third most important thing in the Arabic household is family. Then after those three things are addressed, then you can get to the rest of the world.
Yeah.
those three things come first, second, and third.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, and like you say, it's the unspoken rule with all parents that they know what you've gone through. What can I say, Justin? It was a pleasure. Thank you.
Absolutely
as always. We will look forward to doing it again as it allows, and I will certainly look forward to it.
Thank you. All right, really appreciate your time. Good luck with your taxes. I know you're dreading them, but
I need it.
I've kind of used up your excuses now. So
Well, I appreciate the enabling. Truly, it's not what I look forward to.
All right.
Thank
On
you,
that note,
everyone.
we'll let you go.
We'll
Yes. Thank you,
Cheers.
everyone. Okay. Take care for now. All right. Bye.
Bye.